been getting out under John. Hi.
Oh.
Hey,
Bill.
hey, another great studio class.
Yeah. I was so hoping to have but
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the way it goes.
that's the way it goes.
That's it. At
Oh, you
least,
mean in the studio?
yeah. Well, we got a scare last week. Did you never got it? Did you, Ange? I never
No.
got it. Terry never got it. John, did you get it?
Yeah, I was sick with COVID 3 weeks ago or so.
No,
Well, I know,
after-
but
No,
you
that
didn't-
was 5 weeks already.
yeah, you didn't get it from Vasily though.
No.
From the last, from the studio infection, as we like to call it.
No.
He kept it to himself, apparently.
Yes, there you go. Well, that's so good too.
Yeah.
So it was the week before I had that trigger finger release surgery, so I was in the hospital.
Right.
So I could have gotten it there.
God,
Yeah.
What?
Oh, you mean when John had it a while ago? Yeah.
I didn't know you were in the hospital.
Well, it was a one-day thing, in and out, but I had a trigger finger release surgery. So
Yeah.
When I went back to work on Monday, one of the nurses got it so bad that she wound up in the emergency room for 8 hours with the COVID, and she had all the shots. So, but I didn't get it. I was around 2 other people. I keep testing myself and I don't have it.
Well, they say, that it actually does. The vaccines actually, sometimes you just don't get sick. Sometimes the vaccine protect you from
Right.
getting sick. So,
Your mouth to God's ears. I was
Oh.
at Green Park yesterday with 2,800 people.
oh my God, what park were you in?
Oh, no, it wasn't a show. It was a multi-jazz fest thing.
Oh,
And I
okay.
had no idea they sold out the lawn and the pavilion. If I'd known that, I would never have gone. I just wanted to see Spyro Gyra. But no vax cards, no masking. I'm like, this is insane. This is suicide. I had my mask on all night.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
think
well-
I told you guys when I went to the hospital that day, as they were prepping me, I had my mask on that I brought in, and it was the KN94, the good one, right?
Right.
So the nurse, she hands me one of the regular ones, and
Yeah.
says, you have to use this. And
I-
I should have argued with her. And she
Right.
said, no, I'm wearing my own mask. If you want, I'll put a new one on.
Yeah.
So I don't, and I didn't, or I should have put that one over the one that I had on, and she
Yeah.
changed the mask. So I changed the mask, and who knows, I could have gotten it anywhere. Then she said to me, we're all tested and vaccinated and everything. Yeah, but the people who are coming in here, you don't know what
That's
they've got.
Yeah.
So I could have picked it up from the hospital that day. Who knows?
Yeah, when I flew, I had an N95 mask. Those are the ones that they use. The really good ones. And I got to the thing where they're going through, and they said, no, you can't use that mask.
Whoa, why?
I said, why? No, you have to use these masks. That's it. And so I had to take the best mask off and put something worse on the plane flight. Yeah,
That makes a lot of sense.
I know. Well, whatever. It's just not worth arguing over. I mean, on the subway, I get so upset with people who don't wear their mask, but I just shut up and I moved to it. I moved to a masked area. There are sort of masked areas on the subway now. People wearing a mask sort of all stay together.
Right.
Huh.
But the other assholes, they don't care. They invade. Doesn't matter. But anyway, so it's good to have you all here tonight. Rob's going to probably, I guess, check in later, depending on how he feels.
Is Rob sick?
No, he's not. He had a big art show tonight of his artwork, and so he's not sure when he's going to get back. That's why we did it at 6:30. Not only because this was the time we usually did it, but it was the later the better for him. So Vasily, how do you feel about having 2 mothers here?
He's been picked on a lot in the
Look at
last
this.
couple of days. We
almost-
both worked with him.
He's almost blushing. I love.
We're moving to Mormon, Utah, where
Well, you didn't
have
see,
tomorrow.
I shaved.
That's why I noticed.
Oh,
I got even
yeah.
younger.
That's why I noticed blushing, huh? There you go. Very nice. That's good. Yeah, take the road rage off. That's great. John, so you're going to work tonight on your monologue, right?
I have 2 monologues. One that I learned, and I have another one that I'd like to try out if we have time.
Okay. you know, I think we'll have time. So I really wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
So Anj, what do you want to try to accomplish tonight?
Well, we're gonna work on, trilogy, and I wanted to work on my monologue. The week was too crazy, so I really didn't work on that monologue that I want to. So I'll probably have to do private with you with.
Okay. You mean your kick-ass monologue, your
Yeah.
kick-ass broad monologue?
Right. I mean, I
Alright.
can do it. I mean, if we have time,
Sure.
I'd like to try it.
Okay, sure, we'll do that.
Okay.
And Cindy, anything new for you tonight? What do you want?
Well, Vasily and I worked on the other torch song scene.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And then I don't, if you, I can do parade if you like, whatever.
Okay, good. All right. All righty then. Well, we'll see our last night together anyway.
Rob just texted me. He said that he's coming, but he'll be late.
Well,
He's running late, but he'll come and he'll be coming.
tell me something we didn't already know, but that's good. That's good to know that he's actually coming.
No, well, he texted me, so I'm just confirming, whatever he said that to you or whoever.
Well, he probably just hit reply on the link note that I had you send out, which was great. I just wanted to remind everybody which link to use, and also of our change time to 6:30. So, okay. So who wants to start? All right, I love it. All right, you want to start with what? With torch song?
Mhm.
Okay. all right.
Dying to see you two.
Okay, good. Well, we'll see.
So
See how-
Cindy, can you be on book? I don't know how much I can be off book.
We were practicing yesterday. Yes, I can be unbooked.
Ooh. Hold on. Wait a
So
minute.
either way, even if she fucks up a line, your other mother's gonna call it out.
And when I should be unbooked, why
Well,
not?
I have an idea. Why don't you just split the lines between the mothers and you'll figure out what lines you love the most. And I'll
Okay.
play with two of you.
That'd be fine.
This is the-
This poor guy's gonna get picked to death tonight.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, well, whatever. Okay, all right. I'm gonna click off and
Okay,
we'll
hold
start
on.
whenever you're ready to roll.
Okay. Vasily, I'm trying to do that thing that we did with where I'm, if I can, I'm just gonna. Okay, it's not gonna work.
What's not gonna work? Okay.
No,
Oh.
trying to get
This.
the
Oh
picture.
no, the line is, but we're just getting somewhere.
What?
You said this isn't gonna work, but we're just getting somewhere.
Okay,
Okay.
hold on.
I, I.
That's not quite the right prep for being
No,
scared
sorry,
out,
it's
scared
just-
out of your fucking gourd.
It's,
Because he's got two mothers here.
It's like,
Round
yawn,
two.
okay, round two. What the fuck, round two?
it's so fucking boring.
If I have to have this conversation one more with this closed-minded bitch that I called a mother, I'm never gonna
Oh,
live.
God.
All right. I'm scared, but
I'm
now you can.
trapped.
Yeah, well, that's good. Trapped is a really good feeling. Trapped is close, is the kind of fear you're feeling. It's great. Great word, trapped.
Round two. Yahoo! Mrs. Bloom. It's safe to come out. David and Ned went for a walk and we've got the whole place to fight in.
Enjoy yourself. I'm going to bed.
Come on. I'm sorry, I lost my temper.
I'm glad you're sorry.
Please come out here. We cannot talk like this.
You don't want to talk. You want to fight. But I don't fight with my children. In your life, did you ever hear your father and I fight? No. And you want to know why? I'll tell you why. All my childhood, I listened to fights. My father fought with my mother fought with my brother, my mother fought with me. When I married your father, I told him, Jack, I'll talk, but I won't fight. And did you ever hear us fight? No. Now you know why.
You want to sit down?
Don't holler at me. People say things they don't mean when they holler. And you've said enough already.
I won't holler. You just hit a raw nerve. We won't discuss Ellen, only David.
So discuss.
Why don't you tell me what you already know and we will go on from there?
I don't know anything.
You spent the whole day with him. He must have said something.
Well, let me think. He's an orphan.
He's not an orphan.
He said he was an orphan.
Well, he's not. He's a better child. They took him away from his parents. This is his third foster home. The first brought him back. The second he ran away from. So he's
a liar.
He's not a liar.
Oh, this isn't going to work.
Oh, come on. We're finally getting somewhere.
How do you expect me to sit here and discuss this insanity?
You're right. This is not going to work.
Arnold, what do you know from raising a child?
What's to know? Whenever I have a problem, I have simply mentioned you, how you solve the problem, and I do the opposite.
Is that what you brought me up here for? To insult me and spit on your father's grave?
Oh, for crying out, will you please sit down?
Don't holler. I'm sitting. I don't know why, but I'm sitting.
All right. Now we're going to talk about David. Not Ellen, not David, just David. We're going to stay calm. Give up.
Arnold, darling, open your eyes. Don't you see how ridiculous this is? I've been here less than half a day, and already I've seen you let him miss school, hang out on the streets, go out without dinner.
This is a hardly typical day.
You want to talk or make excuses?
This isn't a lot fun to what we're talking about here. If this kid decided I was coming down too hard on him, he'd pack up and take up and I'd never get him back again. And that sweet looking little boy knows how to make more money in a night than you and I can make in a week.
You let him run wild.
No, but I don't beat him up either. I teach him, I advise him, I try to set up an example for him.
Oh, some example. Arnold, look. You live the life you want. I put my fist in my mouth. I don't say a word. This is what you want. Think about the boy. He likes you. He told me he loves you. He sees you living like this. Don't you think this is going to affect him?
Ma, David is gay.
But he's only been here 6 months.
He came that way.
No one comes that way.
On an opening.
By you, everything is a joke.
Don't you understand? The whole purpose of placing him here was for him to grow up with a positive attitude about his homosexuality.
That's it. I've had enough. The world is going completely mad, and I'm heading south for the summer.
making it difficult to have an intelligent conversation.
You want an intelligent conversation? Do what I do. Talk to yourself. It's the only way.
You think this is easy for me? Look, my hands are shaking. I've been like this for days. No one would be coming and would have to talk about this.
Because you knew I would show you how wrong you are.
I'm not wrong.
No? Tell me something. How old was your friend Alan when you met him?
No one. 17.
17. 17. And you were doing God knows what together. Now tell me, how old is this son of yours?
I have no intention of sleeping with him, if that's what you're driving at.
I had no intentions of having a homosexual for a son, but look where intentions get you, Arnold. Do what you want. You want to live like this? Gay Gesundheit. I don't care anymore. But you're not gonna make me sick like you did your father.
I made my father sick?
No, he was thrilled to have a queer for a son. You took a lifetime of dreams and threw them back in his face.
What lifetime of dreams he knew? I was gay for 14 years.
What? You think you walk into a room and say, "Hi, Dad, I'm queer," and that's it? Believe me, if I had known, I wouldn't have bothered. God should tear out my tongue that I should talk to my child this way. Arnold, you're my son. You're a good person. A sensitive person with a heart. Ken O'Hara, like your father, and I try to love you for that, but you won't let me. No, you've got to throw me down on the ground and rub my face in it. You haven't used, since I've been here, you've only used the gay word in every sentence since I've been here.
Because that's what I am.
If that were all, you'd leave it in there where it belongs, in private. No, you're obsessed by it. You're not happy unless everyone's talking about it. I don't know why you just don't wear a sign and get it over with.
I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. I'm not trying to throw it in your face, but it is what I am, and it's not just a matter of who I sleep with. Ma, try to imagine the world the other way around. Imagine that every book, magazine, movie, newspaper, TV show, commercial, billboard told you that you should be homosexual, but you know you're not, and you know that for you this is—
Arnold, stop already. You're talking crazy.
You want to know what's crazy? That after all these years, I'm still here justifying my life. That's what it's crazy.
You call this a life? This is a sickness. But this is what you've chosen for yourself.
Ma, look, I'm gay. I don't know why. I don't think anyone does. Would you also rather I had lied to you? My friends all think I'm crazy for telling you. They'd never dream of telling their parents. Instead, they cut their parents out of their lives, and the parents wonder why my children are so why my children are so distant. Is that what you'd rather?
But it doesn't have to be in every sentence, does it?
You want a part in my life? I'm not going to edit out things you don't like.
Can we end this conversation?
No! There is one more thing you've got to understand. You made fun of my crocheting before. You think it's a cute little feminine thing I do. Let me tell you something. I have taught myself to sew, cook, do fix plumbing, do textiles, build furniture. I can even pat myself on the back when necessary. Also, I don't have to ask anyone for anything. There is nothing I need from anyone except love and respect. And anyone who cannot have those two things has no place in my life. You're my mother and I love you, I do, but if you cannot respect me, then you've got no business being here.
You're throwing me out?
God, what I'm
You're
trying
throwing me out.
to.
That's really nice. Look, mister, you get one mother in this world. Just one. You wait. You just wait.
Okay, all right, guys. Where mom actually left. You actually left us. That's great. Come on back on, Cindy. I want to see what your first reaction is. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, they did a really good job,
They
right?
did a really good job. There's a thing it's hard to explain this. There's a thing about the Jewish guilt business that it's like, it's always under everything. If you watch Fiddler, how does Goldie talk? How does Yenta talk?
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
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 Yeah, one day he'll kick me in the head and goodbye, Yenta. But no, it's very good.
Right. Yeah. I just wanted your initial reaction. Was it hard for you to watch?
No, it was different.
It's great.
Your ma is more thoughtful. My
Yeah.
ma is ripping his head off all the time.
Well, we'll talk about that once
I'm
we
not
see
saying,
you.
one is better or worse, but that's the first thing I noticed. I thought this is interesting. I've never thought of it that way. That's good.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Thanks, Cindy. You can click off now and we'll talk. All right. Thank you. I just wanted to get that out of the way because, it's sort of the elephant in the room.
There's no elephant in the room, believe me.
Hey, well, all right.
You
Anyway,
don't have to worry.
Anj,
Yes.
so at the very beginning, when you go, I'm glad you're sorry. Why are you glad he's sorry?
I'm glad that he apologized. I don't know.
Because it's because he's admitting he's wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, so that goes, so that you have to have a point of view. You've
Oh,
really
I thought
got,
I did. Okay.
right, yeah, I mean, you really got to, yeah. I mean, that the whole point is that you are glad that he's sorry.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Because what happened in the big picture, and you'll see this as we progress. In the beginning, you were a little more tentative, and then when you got deeper into the piece, you had a much sharper point of view, and it really started to work for you. It was some of the best work toward the end that you've ever done. So, but in the very beginning, you got to start out obviously with that sharp point of view. And
Okay.
this is something else, and then your big monologue when you come into the room. I talked to Cindy about this last week, and it was based on our studio thing.
Mhm.
Remember when you came in the first week and you before you even said anything, you walked in and you picked up a piece of something on the carpet, and you picked up like a mother would, right?
Right.
Well, I started thinking about that, and I started thinking about this speech, which she's obviously said 1,000 times before. The whole why we don't argue, because it's a big fucking lie. I mean, you obviously did argue. I mean, you argued with your son, and you're not going to argue with your husband your whole life? Forget about it. I mean, so it's a lie, but it's a mantra. It's something that you've been, there are things that we say over and over and over and over and over again in our life. And so you just know it. You don't even have to think about it, but it's spot on every time you do it. So my thought was, if we were back in the studio tonight, and I wanted to try this with Cindy too, and maybe we will in Cleveland when we get a different son, is that I think what would really make this speech work is when you walk into the room after finally deciding to come in on your own thing, is that you start doing that monologue and you're picking up while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Right. And then it really motivates the line, will you sit down? So it's not
Right.
only the fact of what you're saying, but it's what you're doing at the same time. Nothing would make this son feel more guilty than my mother walking in my room and picking up for me.
Mhm.
I didn't even want to think about that.
What
Anyway,
would
so-
she find?
Yeah, so I want you to think about that while you're doing that anyway, right?
Okay.
And then when you sit down and you go, so discuss, right? There's got to be a little pressure there. You got to be, I'm putting a little motherly pressure. Okay, I finally sat down. You said you want to talk,
Yes.
so let's go. I mean, let's bingo, right? Okay. So Vasily, here's where my first note for you is, what's the orphan section? He's an orphan, right?
Yeah.
I want to go over that for both of you for a minute, because there's an energy that both of you need to get into to make the false separation work. And because all of a sudden you're going to go, this isn't going to work. And then he's going to go, no, we're finally getting to it. And then you're going to say, and then he's going to say, you're going to say something. And then he's going, no, you're right. This doesn't work. So you're both in that same space before that sort of
Right.
little
Right.
snit happens for both of you. So I want to go back to that and try to get you in the right place. So can we work that little section?
Yeah, I think it's when you say,
Why don't you tell me what you already know? And
yeah,
we'll-
yeah.
But you can give me that line direct, so discuss, give me that one. That would be maybe a good start.
Okay. So discuss.
Why don't you tell me what you already know and we will go on from there?
I don't know anything.
You spent the whole day with him. He must have said something.
Let me think. He said he's an orphan.
He's not an orphan.
He said he was an orphan.
Well, he's not. He was a better child. They took him away from his parents. This is his third foster home. The first brought him back. The second he ran away from. So he's not.
He's a liar.
He's not a liar.
Oh, this isn't going to work.
Oh, come on. We'll finally get it somewhere.
How do you expect me to sit here and discuss this insanity?
All right, this is not going to work.
Good, right, good. Now, so Vasily, right when you got that, both of you have got to hear the other person before you make that decision to disengage. And I feel that it's automatic, and that you're not hearing it, and that you're not allowing that insult to really want to disengage you. It's all dramatically, but it doesn't seem like you're hearing it in the drama, Start it again, try it one, and really listen to each other's tone and play off of each other's tone. All right, here we
Okay.
go. Man.
So discuss.
Why don't you tell me what you already know and we'll go on from there?
I don't know anything.
Well, if you spend the whole day with him, he must have said something.
Let me think. He's an orphan.
He's not an orphan.
He said he was an orphan.
Well, he's not. He was a better child. They took him away from his parents. This is his third foster home. The first brought him back. The second he ran away from. So he's
No,
not.
he's a liar.
He's not a liar.
This isn't going to work.
Oh, come on. We're finally getting somewhere.
How do you expect me to sit here and
Right now, right there, Anj, that's got to be right. He's going, no, we're almost there. And then this has to be a real sharp accusation to get him to say what he's
You're
going
right.
to say, right? Yeah, right. So you've got to kick that,
Oh, okay.
right? How do you expect me? It's just like, Jesus Christ, my fucked up little kid. How do you expect, right? So that it really just hits a button, and
Yeah.
then that's what throws it onto him, right? That's how all of that energy adds up to that. Does that make sense?
Sure. Can we do
Let's-
that one more
Yeah,
time?
let's try it one more time. Let's keep working in this in little pieces. That's great. Yeah, here we go.
So discuss.
No, and again, what you did before was you put a little pressure on, so discuss, and you held on to that energy, and then it really kept you right on the track. And go.
So discuss.
Why don't you tell me what you already know? We'll go on from there.
I don't know anything.
You spent the whole day with him. He must have said something.
Well, let me think. He's an orphan.
He's not an orphan.
He said he was an orphan.
Well, he's not. He's been a child. They took him away from his parents. This is his third foster home. The first brought him back. The second he ran away from. So he's not.
So he's a liar.
He's not a liar.
This isn't going to work.
Come on, we're finally getting somewhere.
How do you expect me to discuss this insanity?
You're right. This is not going to work.
Arnold, what do you...
Good, great. Now, you're right, this is not going to work. Then there has to be a silence.
Yeah,
There has to be a stop. There has to be a pause, because you've got to come up. You've got to take that energy you're in now, Anj, and turn it into your next tactic, your next beat to try to get through to your son. Okay, that's how that all connects. Nice work, you guys. That was great. That was fucking great. I can't wait for you to watch the playback. Both your don't hollers, absolutely terrific. Both of them. The second one was based on the first one. The first one was a great order. I loved it. That you went to the section. This is ridiculous. You actually started to laugh at him, which was a really great lead in, which I never saw before. And I totally believed it. So this was where you really started connecting with her and connecting with the strength and the power of her point of view. Okay.
Yeah.
Vasily, he has to be more.
Bill, can I see you? Can you go on?
Oh, sure.
Okay,
Sorry.
good, okay, so that's okay.
Nice to be seen. Anyway, Vasily, you have to be more defensive on. It was hardly a typical day. I mean, Jesus Christ, you have to defend yourself there.
Mhm.
I mean, you had no control over how this day was going to go. So how are you calling it? I mean, Jesus Christ, Mom, is hardly, yeah, exactly. Defend yourself. Anj, you understand the irony of I put my fist in my mouth. What is that line? You understand it's an ironic line, right?
Yeah, I put my fist in my mouth. I don't say a word. You want to live? Yeah.
Is that the correct order of the line?
Let me just see, I'm sorry.
It's Arnold, you want to live like this. I put my fist in my mouth. I don't say a word. This is what you want. But think
Right.
boy.
Good. So I put my fist in my mouth. I don't say a word. I haven't seen you do that. I haven't seen you do that once. You know, this is another cliche, right?
Okay.
I put my fist in my mouth. What's the next line?
I put my fist in my mouth. I don't say a word.
Yeah, I put my fist in my mouth. I don't say a word.
I don't say a word.
No, never. Not me. You won't see me saying a word. Exactly. You want to get the full irony in that. Vasily, don't you understand? What is that coming from? Don't you understand?
It's coming after the joke when she said, well, he came that way.
Yes.
Comes that way. What an opening. By you, everything is a joke. Don't you understand that?
Yeah. The way she's playing, and the way she played it, I want you to play off it. It's almost funny that she doesn't get it. You know what I mean? So that it doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be, there's an absurdity to what she's saying. And I'd like you to focus a little more on the absurdity of it. Let's set that up once. Give me a couple lines before that.
Maybe Ma, David is gay from there.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
You can give me the very last one. Don't you think it's going to affect him?
don't you think it's going to affect him?
Ma, David's gay.
He's only been here 6 months.
He came that way.
No one comes that way.
What an opening.
By you, everything is a joke.
Don't you understand? The whole purpose of placing him here was for him to grow up with a positive attitude about his homosexuality.
Right? Yeah. Don't you get it? That's why he was here, because he was queer. That's exact. And that's funny that she doesn't even understand that one basic principle. There's an absurdity to the fact that she doesn't understand it. Much better than drama, that much better than being dramatic. It adds a real experience to the drama. the absurd experience of speaking with my mother.
I was just thinking about that. It's not like being the line I'm saying that it's not accusation toward her. Is it?
Yeah.
It-
Yeah.
you know, it's some sort of a, he knows that she's ignorant enough, right? And he doesn't really want to be, because he might
Yeah.
be bitchy, right?
Yeah.
But he has to reduce that bitchiness and
Yeah.
be polite toward his mother. Don't you understand?
I mean, don't you fucking get it, Mom? Don't you fucking
Yeah.
get it?
Yeah, and yet there is some sort of what is it called? He's teasing you in a way. I mean, his own
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, yeah, and that's exactly. It's so much more interesting than just being dramatic about
Right.
it. Okay.
Okay.
Great. I'm glad you saw that. Anj, the reply of intelligent conversation. What is that? What's the setup line for? You know what I do?
Okay. So I say, that's it. I'm finished.
Right.
The world has gone completely mad, and I'm heading out to the south for the summer.
Right. And then he says,
You make it very difficult to have an intelligent conversation.
You want an intelligent conversation?
good, right there. Yeah. See, you were thinking about that line. Again, that should just be an emotional reaction. You want an intelligent conversation?
okay.
Go have a conversation with yourself. That's how I do it. You know, it's
Okay.
like bingo. Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, when you think of all the years that she was married to his father, who I don't think is a very compassionate man, you know, it's a very understandable thing that she would have used that line many, 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 many times.
Right.
Right. So it's right there for her. You know, when the thing is, when you get older, you know, there are certain lines that stick with you your whole life, especially when you get older with your siblings and with your kids and everything else. There are lines that you use now, I bet you used with your daughter since she was a little girl. Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, it just happens because it becomes part of the myth. It becomes part of your story. So anyway, think about that, right? On 2 times now. You know, first of all, tell me, how old was he when you first started dating him, right?
Right.
Right. But you're using that as a setup for now tell me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those two things, those 2 points have got to relate to each other in a certain way. I'm not going to tell you how, but there is
Okay.
a relationship between those 2 points.
Right. And and I'm not, it's not, I'm not,
Yeah, you haven't made that
right.
connection yet. So it's great. No, he was true. No, he was true.
You know, Bill, there's actually a connection from an earlier scene with that, because when she meets David.
Hey, Sin, I don't want, I love you adding it in there, but let's wait till we work with you. I want to stick with Anj here, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
Thanks, sweet. Anj, so when you have no, he was thrilled, right?
Uh-huh.
In the script, tell me, is it no comma, he was thrilled, or is it
No, semicolon, he was thrilled to have a
Ah.
fairy for a son, exclamation mark.
All right, so the answer is no. Hold the energy. Then go on with the next line, but you're making it sound like no comma, he was thrilled.
Oh, okay. No, he was thrilled to have a fairy for a son.
Yeah, there you see the difference? It automatically sets you up for that rhythm.
Okay.
Great, Anj, great. Not children distant. What, Vasily, what is children distant? What is that?
That's when I'm saying I know you'd rather I was straight, but I'm not. Would you also rather I had lied to you?
Oh, yeah. Good. Again, I want you to try to approach that speech without being dramatic.
Okay.
Right? Okay. All right. Think about this for a second. Just say that. Just think about this for a second. Would you also like? Just say that once. Try that right from there. Just think about this for a second.
I know you'd rather I was straight, but I'm not. Would you also rather I had lied to you? My friends all think I'm crazy for telling you. They'd never dream of telling their parents. Instead, they cut their parents out of their lives, and the parents wonder, why are my children so distant? Is that what you'd rather?
Good. Now, it still was too dramatic. Give me the logic. Give me the logic of the history. Go. Once again, go. The logic of the history, and go.
I know you'd rather I was straight, but I'm not. Would you also rather I had lied to you? My friends all think I'm crazy for telling you. They'd never dream of telling their parents. Instead, they cut their parents out of their lives. And the parents wonder why my children are so distant. Is that what you'd rather?
It doesn't,
Yeah, see, now that really gives her something to think about, because you're not throwing it at her in a dramatic way. It's experiential. It's like, God, Mom, just lighten up. You know?
I think you know why I get a little bit dramatic here.
I do.
Because the line before mine, it says, you have not heard a word I've said.
Yes, yes, yes. So then you hang on to that energy and you try to reform it into understanding and logic, because you realize yelling back at her is never going to work. Sorry, I'm playing Invisible Bill again. That you realize that, yeah, I mean, the one thing that you know about your mother is that arguing with her is not going to work. So trying to find a sense of logic. Sometimes you can't help arguing with her because she's so stupid. But you know, she's such a mother. But sometimes you can't help it, and that's great. But I think really at this point, it's going to be so much stronger if you play the absurdity of what she doesn't understand. Don't you get it, Mom? I mean, do you want me to lie to you? Is that what you want?
It's just like, imagine just you have to chew it out and put it in her mouth so she could just really understand.
Yeah.
It's not just being, to be clear, I mean, it's some sort of being ridiculous,
Yeah.
ridiculously clear.
And here's a note for Anj along the same thing. You say, what is the line, throw it in my face?
because you've got to throw me on the ground and rub my face in it. You haven't
Yeah.
spoken a sentence since I got here without the word gay in it.
Good. Now, but this is your beat where you've sort of come over. And remember when we did it in the
Oh,
studio,
yes,
you sort of,
yes.
okay.
Yes,
And
yes.
you sort of put your hand on his back.
Right.
And right now, and you're really positive. You know, that's this track. I'm going to try to be positive. Okay. So
Yeah.
so I want you to hang on to the positive thing as long as you mother can. All right. Let's go
Okay.
right from the beginning of this beat and stay positive as long as you can.
Okay.
And here we go.
Okay, should we go at the bottom of that, the page 4? Arnold, you're my son.
No, focus on my son. Page 4.
Bottom. So,
1, 2, 3.
okay, I got it here. I'm sorry.
Okay. What lifetime of dreams? You was gay for 14 years.
What? You think you walk into a room and say, hi, Dad, I'm queer, and that's that? You think that's what we brought you into the world for? Believe me, if I had known, I wouldn't have bothered. Oh, God, should tear out my tongue. I should talk to my child like this. Arnold, you're my son. You're a good person, a sensitive person with a heart, Ken O'Hara, like your father, and I try to love you for that and forget all this. But you won't let me.
Stay positive, but honey, you won't let me.
But you won't let me.
Yeah.
You've got to throw me on the ground and rub my face in it. You haven't spoken a sentence since I got here without the word gay in it.
Because that's what I am.
Oh, if that were all, you could leave it in there where it belongs in private. No, you're obsessed by it. You're not happy unless everyone is talking about it. Yeah, I don't know why you just don't.
You know, oh, good. So here his excuse, right? Here his excuse, right? What was his excuse? What was his excuse? His last line. What was his last line, Vasily?
Because that's what I am.
Right? Okay, that's his excuse. You think of it as an excuse. Now make your point against his excuse.
Okay.
And give it to her again. Go, V.
Because that's what, no, where we started from?
That's good. Yeah.
Because that's what I am.
If that were all, you could leave it in there where it belongs, in private. No, you're obsessed by it. You're not happy unless everyone is talking about it. I don't know why you just don't wear a big sign and get it over with.
I don't know what to say to you.
Good,
I-
good,
I-
good, good, Anj. I want you to use, I don't want you to make it a strong dramatic point, okay? I want you to use the logic of it. All right, try it again. All right, same idea. Great work. Keep going. And
Because that's what I am.
If that were all, you could leave it in there where it belongs, in private. No, you're obsessed by it. You're not happy unless everyone's talking about it. I don't know why you just don't wear a big sign and get it over with.
I don't know what to say to you. I really don't. I'm not trying to throw it in your face, but it is what I am, and it's not just a matter of who I sleep with. Try to imagine the world the other way around.
great, great, good, great, Anj. Great adjustment. Really nice. That's good. Good. Those are my notes. I mean, yeah, and like I said, great point of view on the finish, everything we know. Like I say, right from that point, from your first Don't Holler, it's sort of where you both sort of click. Actually, the second Don't Holler was where you really sort of clicked into it all.
Can I see you?
Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting that. Oh, okay. Anyway, so yeah, really some really good shit going on. Really good stuff. We may come back to it tonight, but I just want to make sure. That's why I wanted to work on little sections, because I think you're still at that point, Anj, where a couple little sections will be more powerful when you try to do it all the way back.
Yeah, and some of it was thrown out because I forgot about, the movements
Yeah,
helps me get to where that thing. So when that sensitivity thing, speaking to him as a mother, a loving way, that went out the window, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. Oh, of course. But it's the end of a beat, And
Right.
it's like, I got to try something different. Honey, I love you. You're my son. But darling, baby, you're throwing it all in my face. Come on. Try to get to him in that way. And then when that doesn't work, then, you resort to other methods.
Right.
Okay, great.
Oh, I hope we get to it next. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
Rob, did you?
Sherry.
Everybody come on back. I thought I heard a ding dong, meaning Rob might have arrived, but not sure. Yes, it is. That was his ding dong.
Rob.
And he
Hi,
brought
Rob.
his,
Hey guys, how you doing?
did you bring the ding?
Hi.
Yeah. Here we are. We're all together again. Doesn't this seem familiar? If only Mel and Cam were
Right.
Yeah,
here. Absolutely.
maybe in the fall.
Maybe. I hope in the fall. I hope.
Let's set them up. Let's
Yeah.
plan for it.
Yeah. Well, sometimes those plans don't work out. So let's just hope that it'll all work out. So we'll see.
Great.
How did your show go, Rob?
Well, it was a great experience. I mean, I didn't make a whole lot of money,
Yeah.
but it was a great experience in networking with people. I got to speak on I was interviewed. I got to speak. I was on a panel discussing my art, discussing my experiences with creativity.
Great.
And so it was just a great experience. I did sell 12 of my children's books,
Good.
or 13, 12 or 13. I sold one painting, one watercolor of the original from my children's book. Just one second.
What do you make? What do you make on your books when you sell them? I'm interested.
$10.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
10.
The
Well,
ones you buy and sell, right?
right. But the
Yeah.
one that is bought on Amazon,
Yeah, like $2.
I make maybe $5 if I'm lucky.
Yeah, I only get I get $4 a book when
But if you buy your own and then you buy it in bulk, you can
Yeah.
get it. You can get it.
Oh, I know. I do that, except I have a bulk of them in the back right now. Just trying to get rid of those babies.
Here is, I got them. I got my watercolors professionally framed. Let me see if I can show this without.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's great. I love
professionally
that.
framed. This is. Hold on a second. The light here is making it. That's better.
It's a purple elephant.
A flying purple elephant.
Flying purple elephant.
You've seen
Oh,
them.
yeah.
You've seen them before, but I got it professionally framed. I got 12 of the images professionally framed. It cost me about $110 for each frame.
Mhm.
Get it framed, but I got it done, professionally. So I'm glad about that. I sold one. I was selling them for 500 each of these. I sold one for 400. I dropped the price.
I'm with you.
I dropped the price.
I know how that goes.
What also, but the other good thing was I went in thinking I had to give 35% to the house of my sale. So I was willing to do that, but it ended up I got the wrong I signed the wrong contract.
Oh,
I only had to pay 175 to get into the show, and my personal curator was only asking for 5%.
Oh.
So that's all I have to lay out for the one
Okay.
painting, and I'm going to plus take her out to dinner. So I joked with her when she said, "Well, what's you could take me out to dinner?" I said, "Well, what kind of hot dog do you like, Oscar Mayer or Nathan's?" Like that. She just laughed, of course. Because
Yeah, there you go.
facetious, right? But
Oh, she likes hot dogs, huh?
no.
Why didn't you get
No,
her
she
a
actually
footlong?
said she actually said I don't eat beef.
That's no, God, I was just quoting a line from your play. That
I
John
know you
said.
do. I know
Oh,
you
okay.
were. I know you were. I know you were. I know you
Oh,
were.
good. Good. I'm glad you recognized it. It's
Oh, I heard
terrible.
it. Well, you even said it in the delivery that that was done in the play. So of course I recognize.
Well, sometimes my jokes. I have to explain them. They never work.
No,
Okay, let's go to John, and you're going to work on a couple of monologues. So that's great. I remember when we used to do monologues. Remember when we used to do monologues?
Back in the old days.
Back in the old days.
When
Well,
I
we're
was
with
a
the
kid-
old folks tonight anyway, so let's do it. Be like the old days.
When I was a kid, I had to walk a mile in the snow to do a monologue.
No kidding. They let you walk. I had to crawl. You got to crawl. I had to walk on my hands. Oh, it was terrible. The blisters are horrible. All right. Okay. Anytime you're ready, I will click off and we'll see. This monologue is from Prisoner.
Prisoner, both of them are. Yeah, Vasily, can you stay on book for me for it's the one that I was going over with you, the one I'm not going back to that doctor. Are you there, Vasily?
Yes, I'm here. Hold on. I need to find that one.
It's in the, it's in the
I know where it is. Yeah.
I know where it is, honey.
Can't tell him anything.
Yeah, I know. You just can't talk to him when he's like this.
It's just like I have to know. I have to know everything. Gee,
Yes. Do you have it?
I do. I do those. I do.
Okay, I'm clicking off. All right, John. Anytime you're ready.
Ready, Vasily? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said I do, for God's
I
sake.
do. I do.
Yeah, okay.
I have to get up. No, I don't mean out here. No, it's different, isn't it?
It starts with I'm not going back. I'm not going back to that doctor.
I'm not going back to the doctor.
There's two monologues, remember? The two monologues are together that you saved for me
I
in the
did.
file. In the
What, John? I don't
it says the
remember.
prisoner of second. It's in scripts. It says the prisoner of Second Avenue, Mel, or something like that.
Uh,
All right, Vasily, don't worry about it. It's okay.
No, I don't have that. I don't know where it is.
Is it possible you can't open it because I already had it open?
Oh, I got it. I opened the wrong one. Okay.
That look says it all. I love it. I love you guys so much. It's great.
Isn't it great to be married?
Oh, God, it is. It's just the best. It is. Okay, anytime you're ready.
What do you want to get married for? What do you want to get married for? Okay. Oh. I'm not going back. I'm not going back to that doctor. He's a quack. He sits there cleaning his pipe, playing with his watch fob, and he doesn't. Line.
It doesn't know what the hell
He
he's.
doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He's a quack. Line.
If I'm getting better,
If I'm getting better, I'm doing it myself. I'm working my own problems out. That man sits there playing with a pipe scooper, watching me get better for $40 an hour. I got mirrors in the house. I could watch myself get better. Line.
I could lay there for
Yeah, I could lay there for 50 minutes. If I don't say a word, he don't say a word. Would it kill him to ask me a question? What's wrong, Mr. Edison? What are you thinking about? Not him. If I don't bring it up, he don't talk. I'm curing myself. I'm telling you. That's it.
I'm curing myself. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It isn't. I'm curing myself by telling you, or what's the
No,
punctuation?
it's I'm curing myself, comma, I'm telling you.
Oh,
He's talking to Edna. I'm curing
okay.
myself.
All
I'm
right.
telling
So
you.
in other words, in his mind, the fact that he's actually getting to talk about his problems with somebody is actually a better cure than going to the psychiatrist. If only Leora was here to hear that. Right? Isn't that, I think that's the context, right, John?
Yeah, because I mean, I think it started earlier on in the play in the first scene or so, because when he's freaking out and she's suggesting a therapist for him.
Yeah.
So I guess he's finally, by the end of the, he's finally going to see a therapist.
Yeah.
And this is the last scene of the play.
Yeah. Yeah. I've tried, it's the last result. A therapist would be the last resort.
And he comes in and, of course their lives are still falling apart because the business she was in totally closed down and she lost her job again. And,
right.
He just walks in the door and he comes back from the therapist and says,
Yeah,
I'm not going back. So he's talking to her.
All right, good. So what's his point of view? Where is he emotionally that he has no control over? What's his emotional state of mind? He had a horrible experience with the psychiatrist again. And then we're in New York. So then he got on a subway and, let's just say it wasn't a good ride on the subway. And you're shaking and you walk up and you're walking into your house and you open the door and you shut the door. And since it was her idea.
Right.
So
he's basically, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, yeah, I think he's basically saying, I know you thought this was good for me, but I'm not doing it anymore. It's not working.
I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm fucking done with it. I'm fucking done with it. That's what's happening emotionally. You have no control over. You reached your edge. You reached the edge. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. That's it. Okay. Let's launch it with that energy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm just a couple of times just to warm up, just say, I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done with this person. And then go into the monologue. Let's just get you started with a couple of sub vocalizations in the right place. Okay. You can even use fuck it. I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done with you. Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be loud. Actually, you've had time a little bit to calm down from there to here. So it's not a yelling thing. It's an internal yelling. It's an internal anger. It's an internal frustration, not anger, frustration, fed upness, but deeply internal. Oh my God. Oh, fuck. Warm me up.
I'm done. I'm fucking done. That's it. That's fucking it. I'm not going back. I'm not going back to that doctor. He's a quack. He sits there cleaning his pipe, playing with his fucking watch fob and doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. The man is a quack. If I'm getting better, I'm doing it myself. I'm working my own problems out.
Good. All right, good. Now, that's great, John. And I just want to remind you guys how much the sub vocalizations help you get on the right path so that you know the one thing that you have all learned so well is to hold on to the energy and to follow through with it. So now what we want to do is we want to make sure that we get you on the right path so that all you got to do is hold on to it and then you're on your little journey, right? And so launching that is really important. It made a huge difference. I mean, you heard Anj laughing. I was laughing too, because it had that sort of internal frustration that gives it sort of the comic edge that we need, right? the kicker line of the whole thing is, what's the thing about you're going to heal yourself? What does it come after? What's the line?
He says, if I'm getting better, I'm doing it myself. I'm working my own problems out.
Yeah. If I'm getting better, I'm doing it myself. B. I'm working my own. In other words, it's got to. That's a different solution than what. And then and that's just a little tangent, isn't it? And he goes back to bitching about the guy, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's try it again with that great sub vocalization. Hang on to it and make that point. Let's see what happens.
I'm done. I'm fucking done. That's it. I know you wanted me to do this, but I'm fucking done. I'm not going back. I'm not going back to that doctor. He's a quack. He sits there cleaning his pipe, playing with his watch fob, and doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. The man is a quack. If I'm getting better, I'm doing it myself. I'm working my own problems out. That man sits there playing with a pipe scooper, watching me get better for $40 an hour. I got mirrors in the house. I can watch myself get better. I could lay there for 50 minutes. If I don't say a word, he won't say a word. Would it kill him to ask me a question? What's wrong, Mr. Edison? What are you thinking about? Not him. If I don't bring it up, he don't ask. I'm curing myself. I'm telling you.
Oh, John, that's so good. That's so good. Now, here's the one that'll really make it the kicker. The very last one, what is it? On top of it all, I could what? What is the very last thing? I could what?
So I could lay there for 50 minutes.
Yeah. So it's got to have that very last one. Has got to have the sub vocalization of on top of it all. I mean, on top of everything that I've just told you. So just try that little section with that sub vocalization on top of everything that I just told you. Go.
I got mirrors in the house. I can watch myself get better. And on fucking top of all that, I could lay there for 50 minutes. If I don't say a word, he won't say a word. Would it kill him to ask me a question? What's wrong, Mr. Edison? What are you thinking about? Not him. If I don't bring it up, he don't ask. I'm curing myself. I'm telling you.
There's no doubt about it. I have the skills to cure myself compared to this putz. That's great. That's great, John. That's what that needed. That's that comic energy that we talk about, that it's the same as drama, only it's a little bit more serious. And what you're doing is making it internally serious, not externally powerfully dramatic. It's an internal frustration. So it doesn't need a lot of drama. It just needs you to hold on to that internal frustration. It's great because the internal frustration is drama, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you're internally frustrated, everything comes out dramatic anyway. Because I feel that internal frustration, that's what's going to give me the drama, not an external interpretation of it. You keep that internal. Let's try it one more time all together, and then we'll do the other monologue that you wanted to look at. That's because this is you know how to start this now, John. You got this, man. Mm-hmm. You can't fuck this up because you do that now. I want you to do that prep. I want you to do it all sub vocalize it. I don't want to hear the prep. All right, here we go.
I'm not going back. I'm not going back to that doctor. He's a quack. He sits there cleaning his pipe, playing with his watch fob, and doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Let's go back. Just a little more aggravation on the. Actually, do me a favor. Let's have some fun. I see a doorway back there, right? In your bedroom, right? I want you to go out the door, come in the door, shut the door, walk over here, and talk to me just like and hold on to it all that time. All right.
You want me to wait till I get here to start talking?
I do. I really do. I want to see what happens. Because what I want to do is give you time to prep yourself, right?
Okay.
To really put yourself in, because that's what he would be doing. He wouldn't talk right away. And anyway, here we go.
I'm not going back. I'm not going back to that doctor. He's a quack. He sits there cleaning his pipe, playing with his watch fob, doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. The man is a quack. If I'm getting better, I'm doing it myself. I'm working my own problems out. That man sits there playing with a pipe scooper watching me get better for $40 an hour. I got mirrors in the house. I could watch myself get better. I could lay there for 50 minutes. If I don't say a word, he don't say a word. Would it kill him to ask me a question? What's wrong, Mr. Edison? What are you thinking about? Not him. If I don't talk, if I don't bring it up, he won't talk. He doesn't say a word. I'm curing myself. I'm telling you.
Great, John, great. Now, the only other thing as you work on it, what I want you to do is to make a couple of points and not be afraid to take a pause. And on those pauses, you just hold on to that energy and then go into the next beat. That's what I want you to do, is to work that out, because what it is it's too much melded into each other. I think he needs a couple of little breaks before he comes up with another idea.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll see that on the playback. You could go, yeah, I could hold on to that. I could just stop talking there and hold on to this energy, and then the next point would even make a little more sense than just connecting it to what I just said.
Okay.
But I want you to make those decisions. I mean, I could go through and working with you, and the progress that we've made in 15 minutes is incredible. Now I want you to go through it and work those things out, and we'll clean it up next time.
Okay.
So what's the other monologue? This is another one from.
Yeah, and I just want to ask you, do you think this is a good monologue for an audition?
Oh yeah, I really like this monologue. Because it doesn't sound like Neil Simon.
Okay.
It really doesn't. I mean, there's stuff that really sounds very much like Neil Simon, but this does not sound like Neil
I
Simon.
have to say, I missed the introduction. I just heard him talk. I said, that sounds like Neil Simon.
Good for you.
I mean, I recognize Neil Simon.
Well, good for you. That's great. But I mean, as far as Neil Simon's stuff, I've never heard this thing done in an audition, and it doesn't really, it sounds like really well-written comedy, so maybe I'd take a shot at Neil Simon, but yeah. Anyway, so do the other monologue for me.
Okay, so this one, this is one where I pieced it together because Edna has lines, but he never really is responding to what she's saying. He's just going on anyway. So this may be a little long, but I did edit it down a little bit. So let's see how it goes.
So we're checking this out to see if it's a good monologue.
Right.
Or better than the other one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So you're going to choose one or the other. Is that where we're going?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds great. Okay.
We have to get out, Edna. We have to get out of everything. I don't mean out of here, out of obligations, out of things we don't need that are choking us. I'm going to quit the gym. I don't need a gym for $250 a year. I'll run around the bedroom. It's the only way to keep warm in here anyway. And we don't need the Modern Museum of Art. We can watch Duck Soup on television. And these goddamn magazines. These goddamn magazines. I don't want Time, Life, or Newsweek anymore. You understand? I'm not going to spend my last few dollars to find out that unemployment went up last year. The garbage that we buy every year. Useless, meaningless garbage that fills up the house until you throw it out there and it becomes garbage again and stinks up the house. For what? The food we never ate. The books we never read. The records we never played. Look at this, $8.50 for a musical whiskey pourer. $8.50. God forbid we should get a little bored while pouring our whiskey. Toys, novelties, gimmicks, trivia, garbage, crap, horseshit.
Yeah, the other one's better.
The other one's better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Better audition. Yeah. Absolutely. Because first of all, one of the things that you don't ever want to have in an audition, if you can avoid it, is a list of things.
Okay.
But let's play with it for a minute, okay? Let's just play with it and make it a little funnier than it is, right? So what's his point? What's happening to him emotionally here that he has no control over? Is this toward the end of the play? Sounds like it.
No, this is earlier. It's Act 1. It's
Okay.
Act 1. I gotta look on the page. Let me. I don't. Do I have the script? Yeah, I have it up here. Hold on a second. I can.
Yeah.
Try. I can tell you where it is. Yeah, it's like page 28 in the play. So what happens is, this is right after the scene that Leora and I did, basically.
Oh, okay.
And then he starts talking about he played 2 innings of softball, the day camp. Let's see. Oh, then they talk about he mentioned something about coffee. They didn't get the coffee. They left us coffee. How come? Robbers never go in the kitchen. Then they're talking about we're lucky if we get we're insured. We get all the money back. We're lucky if we get half. You think you get $200 for a $200 cost. Blah blah blah. Then we'll get half the money back. They're talking about the insurance. Then the premiums go up. You get robbed once, and it costs you twice as much to protect half of what you used to have. Then Edna says, Mel, please don't worry about the money. We have something to put aside, blah, blah, blah. Mel says, with 2 girls in college, with our rent, with our food bills, with nothing coming in, we have to, then he goes, we have to get out, Edna. We have to, so
Yeah,
he's freaking out about, everything. They just got robbed,
Mhm.
and
So So let's start out with the mantra is there's no other fucking way. We have to get out, Edna.
we got to cut back.
There's nothing, not a fucking thing we can do. We have to get out. So let's start it with that and see where that wave takes you. All right, just try that.
With those words.
Yeah. Repeat it. As your sub vocalizations start, and just follow through on it, and let's see if it helps.
We have to say the line again. We have to.
I forget what I said. We have. This isn't going to work. We have.
Okay. All right.
This just isn't. Well, there's nothing else we can do. We're
Right,
fucking stuck.
right.
Man, here we go.
That's it, Edna. This is it. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna fucking work. We gotta get rid of everything. We have to get out, Edna. We have to get out of everything. And I don't mean out of here. Out of obligations. Out of things we don't need that are
Good.
choking us.
Now, yeah, that was great. That was great, John. Right. That was great. Here's another thing that will help you, and go a little bit slower. Again, make your points, but separate the points that you're making and connect the ones that are connected. So you're rushing the whole thing, but that was a great start. Absolutely a great start. But don't be afraid of the pause. All of you remember, don't be afraid of the pause. The pause is golden, because what you do on the pause is just hold on to what you came into the pause with, and then it takes you someplace and you come out of the other end of it with something else, but it's active. So don't be afraid of the pause, kind of embrace it here. All right, here we go. Same mantra that starts. Yeah.
That's it, Edna. That's it. It's all over. We got to fucking do something, because this isn't working anymore. We got to do something. We have to get out, Edna. We have to get out of everything. I don't mean out of here. Out of obligations. Out of things we don't need that are choking us. I'm going to quit the gym. I don't need a gym for $250 a year. I'll run around the bedroom. It's the only way to keep warm in there anyway.
Bingo. That's one thing. That's there's a way to save money. And what?
And we don't need the Modern Museum of Art.
Yeah.
We can watch Duck Soup on television.
Yeah, really. That's that. What else can we do?
And these goddamn magazines. I don't want Time, Life, or Newsweek anymore. You understand? I'm not going to spend my last few dollars to find out that unemployment went up this year.
Yes. What else?
The garbage that we buy every year. Useless, meaningless garbage that fills up the house until you throw it out there and it becomes garbage again and stinks up the house. For what? For what, Edna? The food we never ate. The books we never read. The records we never
make
played.
this a dream. Oh, the food. Oh, we could have had it all. Oh, go ahead. Oh.
The food we never ate. The books we never read. The records we never played. Look at this. Look at this. $8.50 for a musical whiskey pourer. $8.50. God forbid we should get a little bored while we're pouring our whiskey. Toys, novelties, gimmicks, trivia, garbage, crap, horseshit.
Great, John. That was terrific, because it gave you a place to go starting out in that with that mantra. It was much more, because it was much more like everything's lost. We're fine. And then it turned into a little bit of, and when you separate, that's the same sort of work you need to do on the other monologue, is separate your actions and hold on to the previous one and then see where it takes you. That was great, John.
Mhm.
I liked it so much better this time around.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Was it more fun?
Yeah. Feels
Yeah.
good. It feels good. Yeah.
Good. But I think as far as an audition monologue, the other one's a little bit better because
Okay.
everybody can, well, no, they can relate to both pieces. It just, I don't know why. It's my instinct
Yeah.
for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, what I like about this one, I feel like, I mean, you and I have talked. You've said this. I've seen, that this play itself is just timely now.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's the same stuff. I mean, we've got even now we have even more shit with all the technology we have. We just collect stuff and stuff and stuff that we don't need.
Yes. Yeah.
So it makes a great point. So
Yeah, it really does. And you made it really well. So, it's a toss up. Either one you love. Pick one.
No, I like the one with the therapist too, with the doctor, getting rid of the doctor.
Oh, God. It's so great. Okay, come on back, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
That was-
you.
Yeah, it really makes a difference when, with that pause and holding on to that energy. I really saw how it works.
Yeah, yeah. And you'll see on your playback when you did that with Vasily a couple of times, when you went, so discuss. And you held on to that energy. And then the next line was just, it was fucking brilliant. You don't even have to think about it. You're already acting when you have that energy. When you're holding on to that energy, that's the acting energy. You don't have to act at all. You just have to let that energy carry you, lift you. Great work. Great work.
Why do you not want to audition with a list of things? In a monologue.
It's because who cares? I want something personal. I want it to be personal. I don't want it to be about things. Especially things that I don't have a relationship to. And you only have a minute or a minute and a half to create a relationship in an audition. And so I think the audition pieces that most turn me off are things that are lists of things or lists of emotions or lists of activities. It just, it's like, I don't have anything to relate to. That's why I think the first monologue just a little bit better is because when you're talking about psychiatrists and you're talking about healing yourself, I'm from now on, I'm going to heal myself. It's so, in a personal way, I think everybody can relate to that.
Right.
I can agree with-
Yeah.
I can agree with what you just said, but the way that John did, the way you directed him on the last
Yeah.
time, doing the pausing and really holding on to that, it didn't feel like a list anymore.
Oh, I know. It was so much better. And that's why I said it's a toss up. We do
Yeah.
whichever one you really want. That's why,
Yeah.
but once he puts the pausing in the first piece, you're going to like that even better
Yeah.
too. So when you get a comic monologue, the first instinct is to just let it roll. And you have power. You have to make your point, hold on to your point, and allow it to take you to the next point. But that holding is really magical. It just always works out right because it holds the energy of the wave that you've set yourself up with really nicely. And you can change, but everything is related to that power and that energy that you first launched it with, which is great. That's what makes, yeah, Rob?
I was going to say, I remember that, there's a listing in the Hamlet monologue where he's talking about, all the ways that life has struck him by. I've always not enjoyed that aspect of the monologue.
Mm-hmm.
But it's listing, my mind's not going blank right now, but
Yeah,
the
well, Shakespeare.
the pangs of despised love, the insolence of office, it
Yes.
just kind of drags a little bit for me.
Well, Shakespeare oftentimes says the same thing 45 times before he gets to the next thing, but
Works
it's all beautifully said.
Right. It works great as a whole piece, but
Yeah.
not maybe as a monologue.
Yeah,
That's the
absolutely.
point. That's right.
Okay. Let's see. Well, let's go to Cindy and Vasily. How's that? All right. Vasily, Vasily's really getting the workout tonight. Man,
Oh,
oh,
right. Yeah,
man.
no, he's going to be with me in a little bit.
I know. I know he's such a busy man. And Vasily, I also want to say, on the first time that you went through with Anj, you are more off book this week than you were last week, aren't you?
I think that's a good thing. I mean, Anj and I, we ran through without, just try to memorize. And Cindy and I, we did that too. I think I remember all lines like 75, 80% for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I can tell that. In other words, you're doing, you know how I do antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen, oxygen. How I never, ever, ever once sat down to learn that. Ever once sat down to study that or to memorize it. But I heard somebody go through it and learn it over a 3-week period every day for 3 weeks. And then I directed that same show 5 times. So I listened to that process 15 weeks of my life. I listened to that song being done at least 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9 times a day for 15 weeks. And antimony, arsenic, that's how I can do it. Because it's inside of me. I know it so well. And that's what's starting to happen with you, Vasily. But I want you to just go one more step on your own so that you really have total control over it. Because when you are in places here where you have total control over it, it just couldn't be better. It just couldn't be, really. It's only when I see that little look to the left to pick up the dialogue that makes me break where you are right now. So I just want to say good work. That's all. Okay. It's really starting to work. And I like him clean cut.
Yeah, the baby face.
The baby face. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, even my mom approved.
Yeah.
Which one?
My mom.
Your mom, who hates the United States and thinks we're ruining Russia, loves your clean shaven.
Well, she is in the summer house, so she's preoccupied with that. So.
Oh, okay, I see. Does John like the clean shaving?
I'm good either way.
Ah, I love you.
Oh, that's good. That's
Hair
good.
or no hair,
Yeah, what a
whatever.
political answer that was. I love it.
How political
It's
correct you
True.
are.
It's true. He's adorable like this, but he's also very sexy with his face.
Yeah.
Hair,
He has that butch thing going on,
You
that
know.
Russian butch thing. Oh my God.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know, of course you don't. All right. All right, enough fucking around.
Shaved or not shaved? That's the question.
Yeah. All
That's
right.
the question.
Oh wow.
Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of chic razor blades.
All I can say is what an opening. All right, here we go.
Okay.
We'll click off and Cindy. And now, do you guys want to work on? Do you want to start working on the last scene, or do you want to? Work? Or do you want to do a?
I think we
Both
should
of them?
start from the old one, and then we can go on to the new one.
Oh, okay. We'll
Wanna
just
do
spend
the
the
old
whole
one
rest
first?
of the night on YouTube. Then that would be great. Oh no.
So what, we're doing the old one first and then the new one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Just it's sequential. So let's do the old one and run through it, and then actually let's just go right into the new one after we do the old one before I give you any notes.
So then Anj, can you be on book this time?
Yes, on the one that I did with Vasily, the same one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the only one I have. Okay.
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 Let me get off.
Oh God, this is so exhausting to be in the same character.
But he's supposed to be exhausted by the end of the night.
Oh, he's exhausted and frustrated. Use it, man. Just use it. Push through it. That's also something he's doing too. He's pushing through to survive. He has to get through this. You got to get through this.
I need a drink. Round 2. Yoo-hoo, Mrs. Bloom. It's safe to come out. Devin and Ned went for a walk, and we've got the whole place to fight in.
Enjoy yourself. I'm going to bed.
Ma, I'm sorry I lost my temper.
Huh, I'm glad you're sorry.
Please come out here. We cannot talk like this.
You don't want to talk, you want to fight, but I don't fight with my children. Did you ever in your life hear your father and I fight? No. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Because all my childhood, I listened to fights. My father fought with my mother. My mother fought with my brother. My mother fought with me. When I married your father, I said, I'll talk, but I won't fight. And did you ever hear us fight? No. And now you know why.
You want to sit down?
I'm sitting.
All right.
And don't holler at me. People say things they don't mean when they holler, and you've already said quite enough.
I won't holler. You just hit her on nerve. We won't discuss Ellen, only David.
So discuss.
Why don't you tell me what you already know and we'll go from there?
I don't know anything.
You spent the whole day with him. He must have said something.
Let me think. He's an orphan.
He's not an orphan.
He said he was an orphan.
Well, he's not. He's been a child. They took him away from his parents. This is his third foster home. The first brought him back. The second he ran away from. So
A liar.
He's not a liar.
This isn't going to work.
Come on, we're finally getting somewhere.
How do you expect me to sit here and discuss this insanity?
Right? Yeah, this is not going to work.
Arnold, what do you know from raising a child?
What's to know? Whenever I have a problem, I simply imagine how you would do it, and I would do the opposite.
Is this what you invited me up here for? To insult me and spit on your father's grave?
For crying out, will you please sit down?
Don't holler. I'm sitting. I don't know why, but I'm sitting.
All right. Now we're going to talk about David. Not Ellen, not Daddy, just David. And we're going to stay calm.
Ah.
Give up.
Oh, Arnold, don't you realize how ridiculous this is? I've been here less than a day. Already I've seen you let him miss school, hang out on the street, go out without dinner.
This is a hardly typical day.
You want to talk? You want to make excuses?
This isn't little Lord Fauntleroy we're talking about. If this kid decided I was coming down too hard on him, he'd pack up and take off and I would never get him back again. And this sweet little boy knows how to make more money in a night than you and I can make in a week.
So you let him run wild?
No, but I don't beat him up either. I teach him, I advise him, I try to set up an example for him.
Some example. Oh, Arnold, you live like you want. I put my fist in my mouth. I don't say a word. This is what you want. But think about the boy. He says he likes you. He tells me he loves you. He sees you living like this. Don't you think it's going to affect him?
Why? David is gay.
But he's only been here 6 months.
He came that way.
No one comes that way.
What an opening.
By you, everything is a joke.
Don't you understand? The whole purpose of placing him here was for him to grow up with a positive attitude about his homosexuality.
That's it. I'm finished. The world has gone crazy and I'm heading south for the summer.
You make it very difficult to have an intelligent conversation.
You want to have intelligent conversation? Do what I do. Talk to yourself. It's the only way.
You think this is easy for me? Look, my hands are shaking. I've been like this for days. No one would be kind would have to talk about this.
Because you know I tell you how wrong you were.
I'm not wrong.
No? Tell me something. How old was your friend Alan when you met him?
17.
17. 17, and you two were doing God knows what together. Now, tell me, how old is this son of yours?
I have no intention of sleeping with him if that's what you're driving at.
Oh, well, I had no intention of having a homosexual for a son, so look where intentions get you. Arnold, you want to live like this? Gay gesundheit hate. I don't care anymore. You're not going to make me sick like you did your father.
I made my father sick?
Oh, no, he was thrilled to have a fairy for a son. You took a lifetime full of dreams and threw them back in his face.
What lifetime of dreams? You knew I was gay for 14 years.
Oh, what? You walk into a room and you say, hey, Dad, I'm queer. And that's it? You think that's what we brought you into this world for? Believe me, if I'd known, I wouldn't have bothered. God, you tear out my tongue. I should talk to my child this way. Arnold, you're my son. You're a good person, kind person with a heart, horror like your father. And I try to love you for that and forget this, but you won't let me. You got to throw me on the ground and run my face in it. You haven't said one sentence without the word gay in it since I got here.
Because that's what I am.
Well, if that were all, you could leave it in there where it belongs, in private. But no, you're obsessed by it. You're not happy unless everyone is talking about it. I don't know why you don't just wear a big sign and get it over with.
I don't know what to say to you. I really don't. I'm not trying to throw it in your face, but it is what I am, and it's not just a metaphor I'm sleeping with. Ma, try to imagine the world the other way around. Imagine that every book, movie, magazine, TV show, billboard, commercial told you that you should be homosexual, but you're not. And you know that for you, this is the right thing to do.
I don't stop. You're talking crazy.
You know what? It's crazy that after all these years, I'm still here justifying my life. That's what it's crazy.
You call this a life? This is a sickness. But this is what you've chosen for yourself.
Ma, look, I'm gay. I don't know why. I don't think anyone does, but that's what I am. For as far back as I can remember, back before it was different or wrong.
You have not heard a word I've said.
I know you'd rather be straight, but I'm not. Would you also rather have lied to you? But my friends all think I'm crazy for telling you. They'd never dream of telling their parents. Instead, they cut their parents out of their lives. And the parents wonder why my children are so distant. Is that what you'd rather?
But he doesn't have to be our every conversation either.
You want a part in my life? I'm not going to edit out things you don't like.
Can we end this conversation?
No. There is one more thing you've got to understand. You made a fun of my crocheting before. Is that you think it's a cute little effeminate thing you do? I do. Well, let me tell you something. I have taught myself to cook, sew, fix plumbing, do taxes, build furniture. I can even pat myself on the back when necessary. Also, I don't have anything from anyone. There is nothing I need from anyone except love and respect. And anyone who cannot give me those two things have no place in my life. You're my mom and I love you. I do, but if you cannot respect me, you've got no business being here.
You're throwing me out.
Oh my God, what I'm trying to tell
You're
you.
throwing me out. Isn't that nice? Listen, mister, you get one mother in this world, only one. Wait, you just wait.
I keep wanting to play with that very last one. Remember when we played around with the idea of not making it like a evil witch spell, making it a more of a you wait.
Wait, you
Wait. Yeah.
Okay.
It just I think it's a nicer color for you because of the sort of tough way that you're right. The difference between yours and Anja's is that yours is a little more brutal. You're a little more brutal with him. You're tougher with him, and so it might be a nice variation because it still says the same thing. It's almost childish, taking it that way. So it might be fun. Anyway, you've already said quite enough. You know, you have the line, you've already said quite enough, Cindy. What has he said? Do you have a list of those things that he said?
Well, in the last scene,
Yeah,
he went off like crazy on her.
yeah. So what would
About,
be really,
comparing his relationship to her marriage, and it's what you're going to compare this to 45 years with that man, and
Right.
how they lost each of their lovers and all of it's a whole Megillah.
that's great. So
Goes on forever.
one thing that'll really help you get into your place is because it's a very early line, you know, you've already said quite enough.
Mhm.
It's a motherly line. I would write a list of those lines that he said that he so you never say them, but I want you to think of them specifically when you say that line. So it's not just a general line, that it's actually specifically coming from those specific events in the play.
Okay.
Okay, that's great. Already seen. I've already seen you. I've already seen you, and you say to him, "I've already seen you," and then you list a couple of events. What are they? I've already seen.
She said, by the way, this was completely off book. Could you tell the difference?
Yeah, I liked it.
Finally this is the first time I got through it and didn't screw
Right.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, it's the comment about David. She said, I've been here less than half a day or something like that, and already I've seen you let him miss school, hang out on the street, go out.
Bingo. Yes. Yeah. Those again, Cindy. It's you interpret the line really well. I mean, it's really spot on. But what I don't feel is that I don't see you composing from your memory those list of things that you saw, right? Because I mean, it just be a little. I just want you to have a little picture in your head before you say the line, of the picture of remembrance that motivates that line.
Okay.
All right, and just being really picky, but
A little more spontaneity then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I want to go over with both of you the "everything's a joke to you" section.
The sex thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to go over that for a minute. Set me up with that.
Ah,
Ooh, how far back do we go for that?
Ma, David is gay.
But he's only been here 6 months.
mhm. Okay.
Right.
David is gay.
But he's only been here 6 months.
He came that way.
No one comes that way.
What an opening.
By you, everything is a joke.
Great. Cindy, you know, you really took that moment to process it this time. And I love that, right?
Yeah, I know
But-
you didn't do it last time.
No, you didn't process it last time. And that's what the note was going to be, right?
Mhm.
Right. Do it one more time, process it, and make that, by you, everything is a joke. That's your line, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, make it should really, by you, everything is a dirty joke. That's really what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
I'll try to put a little dirt in it. All right. Same thing, exactly the same thing. Great processing, and take it from the same spot. Here we go.
David is gay.
But he's only been here 6 months.
He came that way.
No one comes that way.
What an opening.
By you, everything is a joke.
Don't you understand? The whole purpose of
Good,
blazing.
Cindy. Great. That's so much more specific. That's exactly right. That's, again, I guess what I'm saying to you is there's a couple of places that you're not being really specific. And here's a place where you are. You go, no, tell me something. When you did that, you watch it on the playback. Such a great connected moment. And you connected that next moment to it really well. Vasily, before "This is crazy, Mom, I'm gay." What is that? Give me a couple lines before that.
You want to know what's crazy? That after all these years, I'm still here justifying my life. That's what it's crazy.
No, the line is "This is crazy." And it's the line "Mom, I'm gay." It's a couple of lines before "Mom, I'm gay."
Well, there is a section where she said, Arnold, stop already. You're talking crazy.
Talking
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
It's her line.
Talking crazy.
No, but don't you have a line? This is crazy.
Well,
No,
he says, you know what's crazy?
no,
You know
After
what?
all this time, I'm sitting here justifying my, what is it, justifying my life?
Yeah,
Or
I don't think it's that line. I don't know. Go.
all my friends think I'm crazy for telling you?
Maybe
Um,
go to the line, Mom, I'm gay. Do you see where that is?
yes.
Go 8 lines before that and start, and I'll hear it. All right, so start it right there. Okay, 8 lines before there. Work into it, and I'll spot the moment that I mean.
Well, it means that what lifetime of dreams? He knew I was gay for 14 years.
Oh, what? You walk into the kitchen and say, hi, Dad, I'm gay, and that's it? You think that's what we brought you into this world for? Believe me, if I'd known, I wouldn't have bothered. God should tear out my tongue. I should talk to my child this way. Arnold, you're a good man, a kind man with a heart, horror like your father. And I try to love you for that and forget this, but you won't let me. You're not happy. Oh, line.
You've got to throw me on the ground and rub
Oh.
my face in it.
Thank you. You won't let me. She would have thrown me on the ground and rubbed my face in it. You're not happy unless everyone's talking about it.
No, you haven't spoken a sentence since I got here.
This is what usually goes on when I go off book.
That's
Okay.
good. That's
You
what
wanna-
we want.
Throw me on the ground and rub my face in it. You haven't spoken a sentence since I've got here without the word gay in it.
Because that's what I am.
If that were all, you could leave it in there where it belongs, in private. But no, you're obsessed by it. You're not.
Good. So now, Cindy, you're interpreting this dramatically, right? But what you're doing, this next line is really proving what you just said before by a specific example,
Okay.
right? What did you say right before that? Before,
You haven't used a sentence without the word gay in it since I got here.
right? And then he says,
Because that's what I am.
yeah. Oh, okay. All right. If that's all it was, you could leave it in there. But no, you've got to bring, see how you're using that point to make that point, right? That's what I mean. Again, it's a specific active choice rather than a really great, why can't I think of the word? A really great interpretation of the line. It's a specific memory, and that's what that seems to be what I'm working for a little bit more in a couple of these places tonight. Let's try it one more time. Here we go.
Okay.
What lifetime of dreams? He knew I was gay for 14 years.
What? You walk into a room and say, hi, Dad, I'm gay, and that's it? You think this is what we brought you into this world for? Believe me, if I'd known, I wouldn't have bothered. God should tear out my tongue. I should talk to my child this way. Arnold, you're a good man, a kind man with a heart, horror like your father. And I try to love you for that and forget this, but you won't let me. No, you gotta throw me on the ground and rub my face in it. You haven't used one sentence without the word gay in it since I got here.
Because that's what I am.
Well, if that were all, you could leave it in there where it belongs, in private. But no, you're obsessed by it. You're not happy.
Great, Cindy. Great. You see how you're making that point? Absolutely. You see, they feel the difference?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, oh, good. Yeah, well, leave that shit in the bedroom and let's live our lives out here. I mean, really, if that's what you're saying, then that's simple. I got a simple solution. Leave it in there and then we'll live our lives out here. Absolutely. Great idea. And last note, you have not heard, you have not heard one word I've said.
I kind of got a little lost in his speech and then realized I had a line there. So I may not have related as much as you want.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's a very mother line. I remember my mother saying that to me at least 1 million times.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And again, that's from the history of bringing up your child. Absolutely. That's where that comes from. Oh, you have not heard one word I've said. Right. And you just need to relate that history to that line. It's like, oh yeah, here we go again. Right. Great. Good work, you guys. We'll put the final touches on it on Tuesday night.
Okay.
All right. But you want to let's run through the new scene now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but,
Okay.
and you're both gonna be on book for this, right? You're-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Cindy,
No, we managed to memorize it.
yeah,
In one day.
yeah,
If that were all, we could leave it in there.
really. 1 day, 2 days, 10 days, 20 days, it all comes down to having to actually do it. So you could actually learn that scene in 1 day. I learned an entire act of a play in an hour and a half when I was young.
How?
I'll never forget it. It was the third act of Neil Simon's, one of his worst plays. I can't remember it. Star Spangled Girl. Star Spangled Girl. Yeah, I love the character so much, and I found the character, and I learned the character, and I knew who the character was. The character is who I really wanted to be. He was just like really crazy guy. Really just didn't really care what anybody said. And it seems like who I am now. And it sort of is who I became because I really loved it. Loved the character so much. You know, he was a writer. He was crazy. Don't go near my marijuana plant. You know, he was wonderful and free, and I was not at that time in my life. And that's what's so great about acting, is that you absorb some of the great qualities that you have to portray in your character. And the quality I absorbed about Norman was it doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks.
I think that's why I wanted to do Beverly, because she was so opposite of what I am.
Yeah,
In a
Yeah.
lot of ways.
yeah, it's great. Okay. All right, so let's see the last scene. Let's see where we are with the last scene.
Okay.
You don't have to go, you don't have to fly back to Florida. You could stay.
Oh, you don't want me to start with I'll be leaving myself?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
Sorry.
okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll be leaving myself now.
You don't have to fly back to Florida if you could stay.
With your brother? Oh no, it's better if he doesn't know about this. I'll call him from Miami and tell him I changed my plans and couldn't make it up this week.
Going to tell him what happened.
Do what you want. I don't care.
It's important that he knows. He's part of this family too.
What else do you want to do to me? What, Arnold? What? You want me to leave? I'm leaving. You want me to fight? I'm too tired. You want me to change? I'm too old and I can't. I can't. So you do what you have to do, and I'll do what I have to do, and I hope you're satisfied. If I ever opened a mouth to my mother like you did to me, you'd be talking to a woman with a size 6 wedgie sticking out of her forehead. But I didn't raise my children like that. I wanted them to respect me because they wanted to, not because I beat it into them. Go now.
Do I have to start this again?
Yes, because you can't put all the blame on me. It's not fair. Some of it was my fault, but not all. You'd think I didn't know about you, Arnold. Believe me, I knew. And not because you told me. I didn't need you to tell me. I knew, but I said no. I hoped. What's the difference? I knew when I turned my back, but I wasn't the only one. There are other things you should have told me. You opened a mouth to me about your friend Alan. How was I supposed to know?
Why? You would have understood it?
Maybe, maybe not. You can't know for sure. But I flew up for the funeral and you never said a word.
So you could have done what? Tell me he's better off dead?
Or maybe I could have comforted you. Told you what to expect. You and your widowing. And about this Ed, you love him?
I don't know. I think so.
Like you loved Alan?
No. They're different. They're very different. Alan loved all my faults, my temper, my bitchiness, my fat. he looked for faults to love. And Ed loves the rest. And really, who needs to love for their virtues? Anyway, it's easy to love someone who is dead. They make a few mistakes.
You've got an unusual way of looking at things, Arnold Beckoff.
Runs in the family. Ma, I miss him so much.
Give yourself time, Arnold. It gets better. But Arnold, it won't ever go away. You can work longer hours, adopt a son, fight with me, whatever. It'll still be there. But that's all right. It becomes part of you, like wearing a ring or a pair of glasses. You get used to it, and it's good. Because it makes sure you don't forget. You don't want to forget him, do you? So it's good. I guess that's what I would have said if I'd known. You better answer that. It may be something for that son of yours.
Scene.
Yep.
Nice. You know, halfway through this, Cindy, I put a C. That's for Cindy. And I said the wisdom of the exit. And then all of a sudden you got like so fucking wise. It was like I went, shit, did she hear me think that? What was you know, that's the beauty of the exit, is that the wisdom of her age finally comes through, as opposed to the paranoia about the situation that she's in. She's accepted it partially. She's partially accepted it, not fully accepted it. Otherwise, if she'd fully accepted it, then telling her other son would not be something that she would want to avoid if she'd fully accepted it, because then she would be able to control his reaction. She would be able to do that, but she hasn't fully accepted. She's accepted it in her mind, but she doesn't want anybody else to get involved yet, even if they're in the family.
It's beyond her comprehension of
Right.
what's happening. Yeah.
Right. It's just going to make what's already been a complicated trip even more complicated. And nobody needs that. And that's wise. Right. I mean, I think that's wise, don't you? I do anyway.
Yeah, except that Arnold's going to tell him anyway. So
Yeah. So we don't care about that yet. Vasily, do I have to start? What is that line? Do I have to start?
do you want to start this again? I think, isn't it?
Do we have to start this again? I mean, like the argument.
Yeah. And what's that in what's the line in response to?
Well, she said, oh, I wanted them to respect me because they wanted to, not because I beat it into them. Go now. So as if like she was preparing herself to the fight or expecting the fight, and that's what she said. Go now. Do we have to start this again?
Mm-hmm. Go back. Go four lines before. Do I have to start and run through it? Let me catch up to it, because I'm still not relating to what I wrote in my note.
4 lines.
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3. That's, I'm going to tell him what happened.
Good. Go ahead.
So I'm going to tell him what happened.
Do what you want. I don't care.
Ma, it's important that he knows he's part of this family too.
What else do you want to do to me? What, Arnold? What? You want me to leave? I'm leaving. You want me to fight? I'm too tired. You want me to change? I'm too old and I can't. I can't. So you do what you have to do, and I'll do what I have to do, and I hope you're satisfied. And if I ever opened a mouth to my mother like you did to me, you'd be talking to a woman with a size 6 wedgie sticking out of her forehead. But I didn't raise my children like that. I wanted them to respect me because they wanted to, not because I beat it into them. Go now.
Do we have to start this again?
Yes, because you can't put all the blame on me. It's not fair. Some of it was my fault, but not all. You think I didn't
So
know
what do you mean, Vasily? What does he mean when he says, do I have to start this again?
another fight, maybe?
You
I
know,
don't know. I want to know specifically what he thinks he means.
I believe it's another fight.
Okay, all right.
What
Okay,
do you think?
again, I guess it's specific night for me, though. That's what I mean is I want you to know by the next time that we work through this scene on Tuesday, what you mean by, do I have to start this again? I want to know specifically what you're restarting. I want you to know that. Okay, now, Cindy, you just said something. I'm too tired. What did you just say? I'm too tired. I'm what? What is it?
It's Arnold, what more do you want to do to me?
Yeah.
What, you want me to leave? I'm leaving. You want me to fight? I'm too tired.
Good.
You want me
Good.
to change? I'm too old.
All right, good, good. All right, good. So just remember that what worked so beautifully for you, Cindy, at the end, you know, the wisdom part. Being tired helps you be smarter because you don't have the normal shit energy going on in you that blocks what you really feel in your heart. Kanahora. So what I want you to do is I want you to feel the exhaustion when you start. I want you to play the exhaustion. I want you to feel it. I want you to push through the exhaustion. I don't want you to fall back into the exhaustion, but I want you to know you're exhausted and know you have to persevere one more scene before you get to, because as soon as she walks out the door, I'm sure she just kind of goes, oy vey, what just happened to me, right? So I want you to enter the scene with that sort of energy, okay? That sort of, I don't have the energy to fight anymore. I only have the energy to go, okay? I just want you to give yourself that exhaustion and then push through it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Like, and I don't think either one of you wants to play this scene. So there's just this sense, there's this reluctance at wanting to have this goodbye scene. And because he says, but I don't think he means it. You can stay if you want. Doesn't he say that at the beginning? What do you say, Vasily?
You don't have to fly back to.
What I'm saying, you don't have to fly back to Florida. You could stay.
Yeah, you don't have, you know. Do you think he wants her to stay? No, no, but we do this sometimes. No, really. You can stay. You don't have to fly.
Except Ed said to him, she'll stay if you ask her. He does say that before they all leave.
Yeah, oh, I know. And so he's probably saying it for his benefit.
Yeah.
Right? So there, okay. Cindy, you do, I'll do. Cindy, know his brother. What is know his brother?
What you could say with your brother? No, it's better if he doesn't know about this. I'll call him.
No. I mean, you got to know who he is. No, I know your fucking brother. You should, you know, again, it's a specific knowledge of your other son.
With
Okay.
your brother? No, it's better he doesn't know about this.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Here I am, invisible again. What is you do, I'll do?
You do what you do what you have to do. I'll do what I have to do, and I hope you're satisfied.
Right. See, now there's a tired woman, right? You do what you have to do, I'll do what I have to do, and we'll both be fine. Just the logic of that. Yeah, it's fine. This way we don't have to argue. You do what I'll do what I do, we'll be fine. Okay, good. That's a great argument for pushing through how exhausted you are from arguing.
Yeah, but then she comes out with the crack about the size 6 wedgie.
Oh,
So-
I know, but it doesn't, you know, stay on the wave I'm trying to get you on, Cindy. and see what happens to that line. Let's see. It might make the line funnier.
Okay.
Truth will always make something that's already funny funnier. And so what I want you to play and work through this next time through is the truth of the exhaustion.
Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
And you're a little exhausted too, right, Vasily?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, good. But again, that's what's happening to me that I have no control over. But I have to survive this scene. I have to survive my exhaustion with these lines. All right, here we go.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll be leaving myself now.
You don't have to fly to Florida. You could stay.
With your brother? No, it's better he doesn't know about this. I'll call him from Miami and tell him I changed my plans and I couldn't make it up this week.
I'm going to
Is it Cindy, is the line, is it with your brother question mark? No.
Yeah.
So
Is
what?
that you could stay with your brother?
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
it's better he
with your
doesn't.
brother. So with your brother is a rhetorical question. So
Or is it you could stay meaning, oh, you mean I can stay with your brother? Forget it.
yeah, with your brother? No. Yeah, so that no has got to be the full answer to with your brother, right? That's the trick. All right, here we
Okay.
go. All right, good. Nice start. Again, what you're focusing on is your exhaustion and how you have to play this scene to get through it. I have to get through this, but I'm fucking exhausted. Here we go.
I'll be leaving myself now.
You don't have to fly back to Florida. You could stay.
With your brother? No. It's better he doesn't know about this. I'll call him from Miami and tell him I changed my plans. I couldn't make it up this week.
I'm going to tell him what happened.
Do what you want. I don't care.
Why? It's important that he knows. He's part of this family too.
What else do you want to do to me? What, Arnold? What? You want me to leave? I'm leaving. You want me to fight? I'm too tired. You want me to change? I'm too old and I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. So you do what you have to do and I'll do what I have to do and I hope you're satisfied. And if I ever opened a mouth to my mother like you did to me, you'd be talking to a woman with a size 6 wedgie sticking out of her forehead. But I didn't raise my children that way. I wanted them to respect me because they wanted to, not because I beat it into them. Go now.
Do I have to start this again?
Yes, because you can't put all the blame on me. It's not fair. Some of it was my fault, but not all. You think I didn't know about you, Arnold? Believe me, I knew, and not because you told me. I didn't need you to tell me. I knew, but I said no. I hoped. What's the difference? I knew when I turned my back, but I wasn't the only one. There are other things you should have told me. You opened a mouth to me about your friend Alan. How was I supposed to know?
Why? Would have understood.
Maybe. Maybe not. You can't know for sure. But I flew up for the funeral and you never said a word.
So you could have done what? Tell me he's better off dead?
Maybe I could have comforted you. Told you what to expect. You and your widowing. And about this Ed, you love him?
I don't know. I think so.
Like you loved Alan?
No. They're very different. Alan loved all my faults, my temper, my bitchiness, my fat. He looked for faults to love. And Ed loves the rest. And really, who needs to be loved for their virtues? You know, it's easy to love someone who's dead. They make so few mistakes.
You've got an unusual way of looking at things, Arnold Beckhoff.
Runs in the family. My, I miss him so much.
Give yourself time, Arnold. It gets better. But Arnold, it won't ever go away. You can work longer hours, adopt a son, fight with me, whatever. It'll still be there. But that's all right. It becomes part of you, like wearing a ring or a pair of glasses. You get used to it and it's good because it makes sure you don't forget. You don't want to forget him, do you? So it's good. I guess that's what I would have said if I'd known. You better answer that. It may be something with that son of yours.
Good, you guys. Good. I think that's where I want you to start working. I want you to work by giving yourself the tired. And what I need you to both do is to push through the tired just a little bit harder. Okay? In other words, this is what I am, but I got to get through this. And there's a need to get through it with making the points that I have to make, especially for you, Vasily. That's including your brother in on the knowledge. That's an important thing for you because it not only affects her relationship with her other son, but it affects your relationship with him and how you relate to him. And there's this guy that I work with right now that you guys might know, Rick Sky. He's very famous. He's a drag queen who's famous for doing Liza Minnelli. He does Liza Minnelli absolutely brilliantly. I mean, it's just amazing to watch. And he has a brother who's a doctor and a surgeon who, just, doesn't understand how brilliant his actor brother is, just from another world. So there's this whole, and I have a feeling that the other brother is very straight. So, that's where that comes in. And so you've got to push through the tiredness to make the points that you have to make. But the tiredness has to be a part of it, but you can't fall back into it. Again, always we're thinking two things. What's happening to me? I have no control. I'm fucking exhausted. How am I going to get through the exhaustion? Well, I have to, because I have to say goodbye to my son, who I've just had the most wrenching visit in my entire life with. There you go. That's what you need to work on for Tuesday. Because you guys get some more work on Tuesday night. That'll be great. Okay, come on back, everybody. So, Anj, do you want to take a shot at your rough and tumble monologue, girl, and then that'll give Vasily a little break before he works with Rob? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I have to give Vasily breaks because he's working with everybody. He's like the new Anj.
We eat the other elephant in the room. What is that?
Yeah. Remember last set of scenes, you were like in every scene, so yeah, there you go. But let me see your kick-ass woman monologue on video. Let's see.
Remember, I haven't done this in heaven.
So you're setting me up that it's really going to be bad, huh?
No.
Do you remember what did we talk about last week, Anj, that you thought about or didn't think about, as the case may be?
I really am. What I did think of her, just that she's gone through life. She's seen it. She's not a wimp.
So she's telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's see where we are.
I regard myself as a woman who has seen much of life. I've learned from some of it, been blind to much of it, and I guess I just watched the less, I'm gonna start over.
Good, good, good. And again, remember that you can say something and it can make a point, and you can hold on to that energy and you can make another point. They don't all have to roll into one another. All right, here we go. Because you're laying it out. Who the fuck are you? Answer that question. Who the fuck are you?
I regard myself as a woman who has seen much of life. I've learned from some of it, been blind to much of it, and I guess I just watched the rest lurch past me.
Okay, good. So you just answered that question. Who the fuck are you? Answer that question.
Who the fuck am I? I'm
Yeah.
a woman who's seen much of life. I've
Bing.
learned. I've learned.
Good, 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 good. I'm a woman who's seen much of life.
Yeah.
Beat. I've learned.
Yeah.
So see, you want to make that the answer to that question really clear, because that's part of the toughness is her clarity.
Okay.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
All right. So who the fuck are you?
I'm a woman who has learned much. Oh, fuck. I'm going to tell you who the fuck I am.
All right, tell me, who the fuck are you?
I'm a woman who's seen much of life. I've learned from some of it.
And I see you're jumping right into that.
Yeah.
You see, tell me who the fuck you are. Who are you?
I'm a woman who has seen much of life. I've learned from some of it, been blind to much of it, and I guess I just watched the rest lurch past me.
Good. Now, do that once again. And
Okay.
nobody ever asked you this question before. So tell me, like, nobody ever asked me this question before. Who the fuck are you?
I'm a woman who has seen much of life. I've learned from some of it, been blind to much of it, and I guess I just watched the rest lurch past me. I have always expected the worst from people, and I've rarely been disappointed. The first is always the worst, was an instructor in history at the Female Carthage Academy.
Okay, let me give you a perfect example. Let me give you the first. Here's a perfect example. Let's say, here's a perfect example.
Here's a perfect example.
Yeah.
The first is always the worst, was an instructor in history at the
Yeah.
Carthage Female Academy.
Tell me
Board
about
and lodging, $10 a month. He taught history, and we made a little between lessons, or else it felt like making history.
And we what? A little between lessons, and we what? And you, who am I? And we what?
And we made a little between lessons.
Yeah. I'm a goddamn sexual woman being, right? And we what?
And we made a little between lessons.
And you're not embarrassed about that. You're goddamn.
And we made a little between lessons. I was 11. He was 20, 21. All he ever said was, I can't keep my hands to myself. And he couldn't. He truly, truly could not. I had a horse that I loved more than any man, a mare, a brown and white mare. I called her Venus, and she was better to me than I ever was to her. I was never proud of what happened to my babies. And when Pearl ran off and little Jessie come at me like that, I just got on Venus and rode away. I wore my velvet dress that had fringe on here and a plume in my hat, a riding crop at my wrist, dangling there. Except for the gun I always wore in the folds of my skirt, I was one first-class lady.
Good, Anj. That's going the right direction. You feel that difference?
Yeah. It's such a hard, it's not that I can not be like that in life, but it's something that I have to work at I mean, I want to show this side because I know that side is in me.
You got that side. You got that side. You got that, tough as nail. Well, I mean, believe me, come on, French pride. Are you kidding me? Give me a fucking break. You can see Macron doing this one really well.
Yeah, right.
But you understand that, and you're not embarrassed by what happened. That's the key, is laying out in its true form, the true grit of your life and why the hell you are. And except for the pistol I keep right over my Yahoo, I am a lady.
Right. I am one first-class lady.
Except for the pistol I keep over my wawa. Oh God. Anyway, but that's definitely it. And you've just got to answer, who the fuck are you?
Okay,
You know, and then you just are not embarrassed to state it. You want everybody to know the full color of who you are.
yeah,
And if, you know, and if it wasn't for this sucky man I had in my life, I wouldn't be who I am. But I tell you, I'm a fucking lady with a gun in my twat. All right? That's who I am.
so do you think when I get it, you know, the way it's supposed to be, whatever it is,
Yeah,
is this something I can use?
absolutely. It's something you can use for a range of a tough broad. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's great because it's certainly the other side of it.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, absolutely. So stick it and we'll keep working it. You know,
all righty,
we'll keep playing with it, but it is all about you not being a fucking bit embarrassed about it. Not a bit. You're, you know, including when you were 11, you had an affair with a 22-year-old man. I mean, that's a lot like, you know, my abuse as well. But what you're saying to you is your abuse made you who you are.
so I'm really a proud woman.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of what
Right.
I've accomplished.
And I honestly have to say that my abuse made me who I am too. I guarantee that. I would not be who I am without having gone through that. I would have been somebody completely different, and I'm not at all embarrassed by it. The only thing that I lost was a daughter, which was a horrible loss, but you know, that's the way I knew it could possibly go. But it made me who I am, and that's what this speech is about. My experiences made me who the fuck I am, and this is who I am. Who the fuck are you? Boom. And then you just answer that question with every line. All right? Cool.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Come on back, everybody. All right.
I actually wrote a poem expressing that, a very simple poem.
Who did?
Sorry?
I did. I bless the whole of my experiences, for all my experiences have shaped who I am. Some are beautiful and some are not, but all have beauty and truth.
That's a beautiful thing. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are embarrassed by their experiences, you know, and they live their life that way, but not this one. Okay, here we go. Let's do Rob and Vasily in Mass Appeal. I've never seen it. I've only seen this, I think, in person. I don't think I've ever seen it on Zoom.
No, I think the early version, the earlier.
Oh yeah, right. Maybe we did. Yeah, we did one read, an initial read.
I don't know what happened. Well, maybe I timed my. All right.
Okay.
Now I look a
You
little bit.
just give me a half a minute. I need to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
I'll.
come on back, everybody. Let's chat.
I could read it now or read it later. I have that. I picked up that article about my grandfather and Oscar Wilde.
Oh yeah. What is it?
Okay, I'll read it to you. It's a couple of paragraphs. My grandfather was like when the founding fathers of the labor movement in our country.
Oh.
And he went to England, and he was at some gathering. It was actually
he was a founding father of the labor movement in
he
this
was, yeah, he
country.
was the first. Yeah, he was one of the founding. Yeah,
And you had such trouble with that character that you played with Ange and I'm Not Rappaport? That's the same guy.
what can I tell you? I never met him. The man died when I was in 1892, 1898.
Well, that makes it a little clearer, but isn't that ironic? I mean, that is the guy that you want to play in I'm Not Rappaport. A labor leader. Yeah, anyway, go ahead.
Well, listen, Anj and I are going to work on that again. I hope, Anj.
I believe that one.
You cut me a little slack. Only if I memorize the lines.
Yes, there you
You
go.
will not work with me unless I memorize the line. If I dawdle and drag her through the mud again, she will not work with me on it. I don't blame her. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. And
Mea culpa,
oh,
mea culpa, mea culpa. Read the fucking paragraph. All right, here we
read the
go.
fucking paragraph. Shut your mouth already.
Yeah.
All right. Wild American. That's the title of this news. It's a newspaper article.
Okay.
Congressman O'Neill and Oscar Wilde met. Our Congressman O'Neill of Missouri, who spoke at the anti-convict labor meeting last Saturday night, is a big Irishman, free and easy and bluff in manner. Now remember, this was this is probably written in 1880.
Mm-hmm.
Free and easy and bluff in manner, while notwithstanding marked ability and certain refinement. Last year, he made a trip to Europe and formed the acquaintance of a young English actor on the steamship. The latter relates that one day the congressman visited the House of Commons and going out on the river terrace where members and their friends sit and smoke during the intervals between divisions and when some sixth-rate speaker is addressing empty benches. He found the actor and a tall, well-built, and fashionably dressed young man enjoying cigars together. Congressman O'Neill went over to his friend, who introduced him to his companion, saying, permit me to introduce Congressman O'Neill of Missouri, Mr. Oscar Wilde. The Congress took the outstretched hand of the aesthete, meaning a man of beauty, with the cynical smile of a man who believes he sees through a practical joke, but lends himself to it, and said, "Are you the everlasting chump they sent us to America a couple of years ago?" The aesthete's cigar dropped from his fingers, that was Oscar Wilde, and he stood aghast. Then turning to the actor, he asked in a superstitious tones, "Who is this wild American person?" No, there's some kind of line here, then an A, then another line. He said some kind of curse word. I don't know what it was.
Oscar Wilde.
Then he
curse word.
I don't know. It just says, "Who is this line?" It was a line here, and then an A, and then another line. So that it just was not. It was not put into the newspaper article.
Okay.
Apparently, it was some type of curse word that Oscar Wilde used.
I can't believe it.
Then he walked away, leaving O'Neill and the actor dumbfounded. Early next morning, the congressman took a cab and went to Wilde's house to apologize. So that was
Cool.
This is a picture of my grandfather in 18.
Oh wow.
Nice.
1880. Yeah.
He looks like he used to play for the Yankees. He
Very
does
good.
look like an old-time baseball player. You know, they had those.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, he was a powerful congressman in the 1870s, 1880s, and 1890s.
Yeah, I can imagine Oscar Wilde having the last word in any conversation. Can't you? But I can't imagine him swearing. Because
Maybe I don't know what this is. It's just a line here that the writer didn't put the words in there. I don't know why.
He was always so clever with his language.
But anyway, he called him a wild American, my grandfather.
Oh.
Can you hold the photo closer to the
All right,
camera?
a little show and tell here, a little show and tell. All right, let's get going with.
He wants to. John wants to see the photo of your.
Yeah.
Can you hold it closer
Maybe
to
we
the
can Google it
camera,
and find
closer to
out.
the camera, closer to your camera.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice mustache.
Yeah.
Really. Thick hair. What happened to you?
Yeah.
I got this from my mother's side.
Yeah.
My father had very thick hair.
So did mine. Yeah, I got this
My mother's uncle was bald, so I got it from my mother's side.
Yeah, I have my.
Ironically, my sister has extremely thick hair like my father.
Well,
No, don't go figure. I don't know. What
I
the
know. Women, go
Hey,
figure.
listen, if I didn't have this, I wouldn't be called Shakespeare. So,
There you go. All right, so let's do the scene and see where we are.
all right, great. All right.
Oh,
Let me know when you're ready.
oh, that's, I don't need this one. I don't need this one. No, hold on for a second. Where's that script? Oh, okay, there.
Ready?
Mhm.
All right.
Shouldn't you be in the other room, Vasily?
Yeah, he's in the other room.
Yes, that's right. Now he's in the other room. Okay, here we go.
Mark, come in here.
I'm helping Margaret with the dishes.
Never mind about the dishes. Come in here now. It's important.
I have just a few more parts.
Monsignor Burke wants to see you as soon as I'm through with you.
He's upset about the sermon.
He says it's not about the sermon.
It's not.
Monsignor Burke has appointments with several seminarians and now you.
Why?
Some dress funny. Others hang out too much together.
What did I do?
Seems you were too vehement in your defense of Frank Kearney and Alfred Verassi.
It's nuts.
That's just the kind of intelligent approach he's hoping you resort to.
Do I have to put up with this? Can't I see the bishop?
The bishop is so paranoid about this Frank and Alfred business, he wishes all the altar boys were girls, so he'll let Burke just do what he wants.
What do you think he's going to ask me?
It's hard to say. These interviews change according to the person he's into. Oh, let's do it.
What?
The interview. I'll play Monsignor Burke and you play you.
I shouldn't have to go through this at all.
Mark, relax. You don't have to anything to be afraid of, do you? Come on, just go out and come in like you're coming in for the interview.
I want to play this psycho game.
Mark, you have to go through this with as much grace and tact as you can. You can't afford a repeat of your last encounter with him.
All right. All right.
Good day, Dawson.
Hello, Monsignor Burke.
You're late.
I am. Well, sorry, I've been fasting all week and meditating every night, so time and space are...
That's very interesting, Dawson. Have you considered a career in contemplative order?
Funny you should say that. Father Farley suggested that very thing to me just today.
Well, he manages to say a few good ideas every so often. Leave me out of this. Now, I'd like to ask you a few questions. My first question has to do with Frank Kearney and Alfred Verassi.
Or he wouldn't get into that right away.
He's a busy man. He can. I'm sorry. I lost my place in line. Yes, he would. He's a busy man.
If he's so busy, he can skip my interview.
All right, have it your way. How's your family?
Fine, thank you.
Oh, there's one thing I've always been curious about, Dawson. In regards to your family life, why did you leave home at 16?
I wanted to be on my own.
But so young. Was there something at home pushing you out?
I don't think so. I was aware of it at the time, but there was a silence in my house that crushed me. There were choruses going on inside of me, and at dinner we all chewed and clanged, and there were times I thought the fork would melt right in my hand.
So you left.
Yes,
They let you go?
I think they were relieved.
Where did you go?
What were you asking about, Frank and Alfred?
Well, I've been wondering why you reacted so strongly to the suggestion they take a year off from their studies.
It was not a suggestion, it was a demand. They did not take a year off. You kicked them out.
Hey, if you want to be direct, do you think priests should be allowed to sleep together?
They weren't priests. They weren't even deacons. A vow of celibacy was far off for them.
Do you think such practices are easily dispensed with?
Is your question something along the lines of how you're going to keep them down on the farm after they've seen Paris?
Stop your verbal acrobatics and give a response to whatever you interpret my question to be.
Yes, I think Frank and Alfred would have stayed down on the farm after they had seen Paris.
How do you know?
I said I think. I did not say I know.
Let me ask my next question in your native tongue. Have you ever seen Paris? And if you have seen Paris, were they Parisianettes or Parisians?
Both.
Really?
Oh, that's it, no more. You were shocked.
I was playing Monsignor Burke. Both?
Yes, women and men, two sexes. Monsignor, before I came to the seminary, I enrolled myself in a 3-year orgy that laid waste to every fiber of my character. Does that sound apologetic enough? Oh, how about this? Monsignor Burke, please, understand. I explored the world my included my indulgent bisexual ambivalence. I searched with my body and I discovered that I could never reconcile my inner emotional world that way. Other half. But my unique personal and human condition called for another way, so I invited the celibacy. I will be happy to stay down on the farm because it's there I will be calm enough to help others, and the only real joy in this world is helping other people. I feel determined and perfectly prepared to become a priest. What would he say to that?
Both?
Oh, will you stop it?
I'm sorry. It's just that I've never seen you in this light before.
What light?
Red light.
And you've never been in red light.
By the time my father left, my mother died, I was so confused. I didn't want to be near man, woman, or piano leg. Celibacy came naturally to me. Mark, if Monsignor Burke asks you, say, yes, I have made love with Parisianettes.
Oh, that's a half-truth.
Don't start throwing principles around now, Mark. This is too serious for principles. In the larger scheme of things, he's not that important.
But the truth is, I won't become a priest in a lie.
Better than that than not at all.
I can believe you're saying this. I'm not listening.
All right, don't listen to me. Go in there and do your martyr number. Just leave a forwarding address behind.
He cannot get rid of me.
He can, Mark. Once you're a priest, you can fight him all you want. You'll end up hearing confessions in the cornfields of Iowa if you do. But at least give yourself a chance. Make sure you do become a priest. Try it my way. Be diplomatic. Avoid answering questions directly. You can steer the questions. Phrase your answers certain ways.
You mean a lie?
Even Christ said to his apostles, be as innocent as doves and as cunning as serpents. Christ said that.
That's kind of mean lying.
If you can afford not to be a priest, tell the truth. If you want to be a priest, lie. Mark, I want you to be a priest. I asked for you.
You asked for me. You said that.
I know. I told you Monsignor Burke made me do this, but he didn't. I asked him to let me help you.
Why?
Because you're a lunatic, and the church needs lunatics. And you're one of those priceless lunatics that comes along every so often and makes the church alive. The only problem with lunatics is they don't know how to survive. I do. Here, take my keys. My car, rather.
All right. Okie doke, good. The scene might have worked a little better on your side, Vasily, if you weren't eating pistachio nuts, but
Sorry, I got hungry.
well, I know, but I mean, it was all right because it's just sort of the first time through, but anyway. Rob, I just want to ask you, you are Irish, right?
Yes,
Can you do an Irish dialect?
I could try. Sure. I mean, let me think here now.
Have you ever done an Irish?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Do you have relatives with big Irish dialects?
No, but I did have an Irishman come up to me one time and say, "Do you know the Gaelic meaning for O'Neill?" I don't know if that's very Irish or not.
Yeah. You know, most Irish accents sound like the cereal, you know. Oh, my lucky charms, you know. But if you don't know the dialect, then don't do it. I just thought because you were Irish, you might have some background.
I mean, I could try slicking it in there, see how it comes off. I could try it. I don't
But
know.
you've never really studied it and you've never really done it. Is that right?
Not really. I mean, yeah. I mean, not really. No.
Okay, good. Let's not do it.
Okay.
That thing when you go, well, let's do it, right? Or you have that idea to play role play.
Yes.
You're rushing that. I don't see the character get the idea.
All right.
Yeah, you have to get the idea first, right?
Okay.
Right. And then Vasily, you have something where you go, where he finally convinces you to do it and you go, all right, right? Hang on to that energy when you walk out of the room and come back into that room. All right. Hang on to that energy and see where it takes you.
Okay.
All right. All right, good. Rob, a few good ideas. I want you to play a little bit more because you make a joke on your own behalf. Oh yeah, well, he has a few good ideas. Listen, keep me out of this, all right? In other words, you need to joyfully pat yourself on the back through the role play of Father Burke.
Oh, when I say, oh yeah, he has a few good ideas, leave me out of this.
Yeah, but see, you're right. Oh yeah, he has a few good ideas. Leave me out of this. Yeah,
Oh,
and then go back in. I mean,
I am rushing it. I'm rushing.
yeah, you are rushing. And that's a general note, Rob. Vasily, don't play. See, Rob wants to play a game. Rob's character wants to play a game. You don't want to play the game at the beginning, right? You don't want to play the game. So don't play the game. Just say the game without playing the game. Let him play, all right? But you play along like you don't want to play.
Uh-huh.
All right. And then that changes. Vasily, Fred, where it really starts to change, the first change is where? Hey, you probably don't know it. It's where
Hold on a second. Are you talking about when we already
when you're already playing the game that you don't want to play, then where does that change?
Well, the very first change goes when he's asking personal questions.
Right, and that's you're answering them like you don't want to play the game.
Right.
And you keep answering that with that point of view. And then when you get to, all right, what did you want to know about Fred and Alfred?
Exactly.
That's the first change. Okay. That's one change. That's like, let's not bullshit around anymore. Let's get to the point of this game. Right. All right. Hang on to that. Right. Rob, you want to be direct. Don't, you want to be direct. You want to be direct. You have that line?
Yes, I think I may have done it with the wrong character when I did that. Let me see, where is it?
Yeah.
All right. Wait a second. I'm trying. Let me find it. I don't know where it is. I'm sorry. I'm tired.
Okay. You want to be direct. Don't hold. Don't rush. That's my.
That's after that line. It was not a suggestion, it was a demand. They did not take a year off. You kicked them out. All right, if you want to be direct.
Yes. All right. If you want to be direct, hold that energy. And then what's the next line?
That's him. Do you think priests should be allowed to?
Yeah, right. So, yeah. Do you think priests, in other words, you got to make that statement, hold on to the energy, and then change character with that energy.
Right. Okay. Now, these. All right. If you want to be direct, that is Father Farley speaking. And
yes, it is. All right. If you want to be direct.
I think I did that as Burke. I was a mistake.
Okay. Good. So, and then when you do it as Father Flynn, is that his name?
Farley.
Farley. If you do it as Father Farley, all right. If you want to be direct, hold on to that energy and then go right back into his character.
Okay.
All right, good. It's the holding of the energy that always works so well. Vasily, that's it. So then the next change, Vasily, happens on, okay, that's it.
You're shocked.
Yeah, that's it. Oh my God, you're shocked. And now you just say everything you really want to say. From the bottom of your heart with clarity. Don't rush it. Make sure you're saying it with clarity so he gets the point. You're making the point sound as brutally truthful as you possibly can. So this is why it has to have a great deal of clarity to it. Otherwise, the brutality will be minimized by the speed that you're rushing through it. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll,
Rob,
I'll take it slower.
Rob, the lunatics line.
Right,
Um,
at the end, right.
Yeah, because it's a little bit too, it's coming off as angry as opposed to positive, because you're a lunatic. And the church needs lunatics, not because you're a lunatic and the church needs lunatics. I want you to enjoy that line a little bit more.
Because you're a lunatic.
Yes,
And the church needs lunatics.
yes.
And you're one of those priceless lunatics that come along every so often and makes the church alive.
There you
The
go.
only problem with lunatics is they don't know how to survive. I do.
I do. Yeah. See what I mean?
Hey, take my car.
Yeah. Isn't that more fun?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
hear you.
yeah. Good, great. Vasily, half-truth principles. What's that? What half-truth? What is that?
When he is saying that, Mark, if Monsignor Burke asks you, say, yes, I have made love with Virginians. That's a half truth.
Good. That's a principle of yours, and you're not going to lie. All right. And you're going to call a lie when you hear it. All right. Okay. All righty. Let's run it. Let's run it again with these ideas. Again, Rob, big note. You saw the difference that it made when I worked with John tonight on his monologue, right? When he made a statement and he held on to the energy, and then he made the next statement, and then he held on to it and he made the next statement. And you saw the difference of how he was, when he ran those statements together, they didn't have the power that they had when they made the points and holding energy between the points. That's what I want you to do. I don't want you to rush through this. I want you to make the counseling points that this character is making to this other character. And I want you to be clear about those points you're making. Don't rush.
Hold the energy and pause.
Yes. Don't be afraid to pause, because if you're pausing, you're holding on to the energy. You're always in the right place. Okay. Here we go.
Mark, come in here.
I'm helping Margaret with the dishes.
Never mind about the dishes. Come in here now. It's important.
Just have a few more pots.
Monsignor Burke wants to see you as soon as I'm through with you.
He's upset about the sermon.
He says it's not about the sermon.
It's not?
Monsignor Burke has appointments with several seminarians, and now you.
Why?
Some dress funny. Others hang out together too much.
What did I do?
It seems you were too vehement in your defense of Frank Kearney and Alfred Verassi.
He's nuts.
That's just the kind of intelligent approach he's hoping to resort to.
Do I have to put up with this? Can't I see the bishop?
The bishop is so paranoid about this Frank and Alfred business, he wishes all the altar boys were altar girls. So he'll let Burke do what he wants.
What do you think he's going to ask me?
It's hard to say. These interviews change according to the person he's. Let's do it.
What?
The interview. I'll play Monsignor Burke and you play you.
I shouldn't have to go through this. at
Mark,
all.
relax. You don't have anything to be afraid of, do you? Come on. Just go out and come in like you're coming in for the interview.
I don't want to play like a game.
Mark, you have to go through this with as much grace and as tact as you can. You can't afford a repeat of your last encounter with him.
All right. All right.
Good day, Dawson.
Hello, Monsignor Burke.
You're late.
I am. Well,
Okay,
sorry.
good. So this might be fun. Good. Now, you know, when Rob did that overblown character, good day, Dawson, whatever he did there was great, right? It was over the top, right? You're coming in to play a game with him, right? And the first thing that you run into is, good day, Dawson. Yeah. I want you to laugh at him.
It says laughing here. That's what he's using. Yeah.
Well, I don't have the script in front of me, but yeah, it's just so funny that he's taking, you know, you thought he was just going to question you from the point of view of Father Burke, right? You didn't know he was going to play a whole character with a different voice. And when you walk in the room and you hear him doing that, it's got to sort of make you laugh, which also helps us understand how close your relationship is, that you can laugh with each other. And let's see where that takes you. All right. So let's go back. You go out and then come back. We'll go right from there again. All right, here we go.
Okay, let me see. Where are we here?
I don't want to play a psycho game.
1 second. Okay, run that line one more time.
I don't want to play a psycho game.
Mark, you have to go through this with as much grace as and tact as you can. You can't afford a repeat of your last encounter with him.
All right. All right.
Good day, Dawson.
Hello, Monsieur Burke.
You're late.
I am. Well, sorry, I've been fasting all week and meditating every night, so time and space are...
That's very interesting, Dawson. Have you considered a career in contemplative order?
Funny you should say that. Father Farley suggested that very thing to me just today.
Well, he manages to say a few good ideas every so often. Leave me out of this. Now, I'd like to ask you a few questions. My first question has to do with Frank Kearney and Alfred Barassi.
He wouldn't get this thing to right away.
Yes, he would. He's a busy man.
Oh, if he's so busy, he can skip my interview.
Right, have it your way. How's your family?
Fine, thank you.
There's one thing I've always been curious about, Dawson, in regards to your family life. Why did you leave home at 16?
I wanted to be on my own.
But so young. Was there something at home pushing you out?
I don't think so. I was aware of it at the time.
See, Vasily, right here, it doesn't seem like you don't want to, you know, I really wasn't aware of it at the time, but I really think my parents didn't like me. You know, I mean, I'm saying it like I don't want to play, but I'm playing. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ask him that question again, Rob.
But so young. Was there something at home pushing you out?
I don't think I was aware of it at the time. There was a silence in my house that crushed me. There were choruses going on inside of me, and at the dinner, we all chewed and clanked, and there were times I thought the fork would melt right in my hand.
So you left?
Yes.
Then they let you go?
I think they were relieved.
Where did you go?
What were you asking about, Alfred and Frank?
Well, I've been wondering why you reacted so strongly to the suggestion they take a year off from their studies.
It was not a suggestion, it was a demand. They did not take a year off. You kicked them out.
All right, if you want to be direct. Do you think priests should be allowed to sleep together?
They weren't priests. They weren't even deacons. A vow of celibacy was far off for them.
Do you think such practices are easily dispensed with?
Is your question something along the line of how you're going to keep them down on the farm after they've seen Paris?
Stop your verbal acrobatics and give a response to whatever you interpret my question to be.
Yes, I think Frank and Alfred would have stayed down on the farm after they had seen Paris.
How do you know?
I said I think. I did not say I know.
Well, let me ask you my next question in your native tongue. Have you ever seen Paris? Hmm. And if you have seen Paris, were they Parisianettes or Parisians?
Both.
Really?
Oh, that's it. No more. You're shocked.
I was playing Monsignor Burke. Oh, both?
Yes, women and men, two sexes. My senior, before I came to the seminary, I enrolled myself in a 3-year orgy that laid waste to every fiber of my character. Does that sound apologetic enough? Hmm? Oh, how about this?
Now top it.
Monsignor,
Keep going. Even more. Again, go.
how about this? Monsignor Berg, please understand, I explore the world by indulging my sexual ambivalence. I searched with my body, I discovered that I could never reconcile my inner emotional world that way. Others have, but my unique personal and human condition called for another way, so I invite celibacy. I will be happy to stay down on the farm because it's there I will become enough to help others. And the only real joy in this world is helping other people. I feel determined and perfectly prepared to become a priest. What would he say to that?
Both?
Oh, will you stop it?
I'm sorry, but I've never seen you in this light before.
What light?
Red light.
And you've never been in a red light.
By the time my father left and my mother died, I was so confused. I didn't want to be near a man, woman, or piano leg. Celibacy came naturally to me. Mark, if Monsignor Burke asks you, say, yes, I have made love with Parisianettes.
Oh, that's a half-truth.
Don't start throwing around principles now. Mark, this is too serious for principles. In the larger scheme of things, he's not that important.
But the truth is, I won't become a priest on a lie.
Better than that than not at all.
I can't believe you're saying this. I won't listen to it.
All right, don't listen to me. Go in there and do your martyr number. Just leave a forwarding address behind.
He cannot get rid of me.
He can, Mark. Once you're a priest, you can fight him all you want. You'll end up hearing confessions in the cornfield of Iowa if you do. But at least give yourself a chance. Make sure you become a priest. Try it my way. Be diplomatic. Avoid answering questions directly. You can steer the questions. Phrase your answers certain ways.
You mean lie?
Even Christ said to his apostles, be as innocent as doves and as cunning as serpents. Christ said that.
This kind of meaning lie.
If you can afford not to be a priest, tell the truth. If you want to be a priest, lie. Mark, I want you to be a priest. I asked for you.
You asked for me? You said that.
I know I told you Monsignor Burke made me do this, but he didn't. I asked him to help me. Let me help you.
Why?
Because you're a lunatic, and the church needs lunatics. And you are one of those priceless lunatics that come along every so often and makes the church alive. The only problem with lunatics is they don't know how to survive. I do. Here, take my car.
Bingo. Good. Better on both parts. Absolutely a step in the right direction for both of you. Rob, in the future, what you want to do is, and this was the best Father Burke that you ever did, and you had more fun doing it, which is always going to work better for this character.
Right.
You had so much more fun doing it, and the fact that you enjoyed the fun at the beginning really helped the three sort of beats that this character has, which is the absurd beat at the beginning, then the very serious, and then the I don't want to play the game beat, and then there's the real beat of what I really feel. it really sets them up. That you enjoying his role playing really helped all of those things. Rob, whenever you're giving him advice, like stop throwing around principles. You've got to be really firm and loving. You're better that than not at all. You've got to have a firm voice with him in certain places where it's really important, right? The tone has to change so that it's tough love. It has to be a tougher love in those places like that where you're really giving him direct advice. Okay, that's going to really help you. Vasily, not a suggestion. What is that? It's something. It's toward the end. He says that, well, if you want to be direct or something like that. To that, find that, guys.
It was not a suggestion, it was a demand. They did not take a year off, you kicked them out.
Right. You've got to clarify that it was not a suggestion, it was a demand, and you're the one who told him to take the year off, right? You've got to lay that's a fact. That's a fact. You got to lay that fact out. And then Rob, it's like, well, fuck, if you want to be direct, all right. And then you go back, but it has to have that, Jesus Christ, where did that come from? What the fuck are you doing? And then going back to character, right? Because he has to be really brutal on that line. Rob, you took much more.
Who has to be brutal, Mark or me? Oh, Mark has to be brutal.
Mark has to be brutal,
Yes.
and then you have to be, well, if you want to be direct, for Christ's sakes, that really what you was right. What's the line? Well, if you want to be direct, what's the line after that?
Do you think priests should be allowed to be sleep together?
Yeah.
I'll
Well, if you want to be direct, oh God, do you think priests should, you've got to really get in there and make that clear. And then take that moment to go back into character. Those moments of the character changes are really nice for you, Rob. You do a really good.
It's fun. It's fun to do it.
Yeah.
He's frustrated with Mark.
Yeah.
Because he's coming and going with how he's approaching this.
Yeah. Yeah. And there are a few things that he just, no, if you want to be a priest, lie. Okay. I'm not fucking around with you anymore. That's what I'm talking about. It's good, tough love. That you just needs. It needs that dynamic because you got a really nice playful dynamic. You've got a really nice character in Father Burke. You have a really great sense of a loving relationship with him, but in that loving relationship, there has to be a firmness because you're his mentor. There has to be. It's like, listen. Don't do that anymore. You understand me, okay? Don't fuck around anymore. And then I can go back and I can be your friend again.
Gotcha.
Needs that firmness. Good work, guys. Come on back, everybody.
Can I ask you? I'm grateful for everything that you're giving me, but I just want to be honest. I had a half hour last day. Is it possible I can come in for a half hour on Tuesday?
No.
No.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, Rob, you
Right.
came in late, and we worked a half an hour on this. Sure. Come on. I don't care.
Okay. I'm asking too much. I'm sorry.
Whatever. I just want to say,
All right, I'm sorry. Maybe I should have said that.
no, that's okay. I understand. I'm happy that you want to work, and actually, Tuesday's a quick night, and come on in if you want to. Ask Vasily. He'll send you the link. Anyway, this is our last thing. I want to start a Sunday night session next week, but I know many of you aren't coming back. I know Cindy wants to come back. I haven't heard from anybody else. I completely understand. I may not do it. It may not happen if I don't get enough people. I sent out 220. This is funny, guys. I sent out 220 notices, right? You all got my notice, right? That I was having 2 new sessions of the class.
Yeah.
I forgot to attach the flyer.
Oh.
It had
Well,
all
I
the.
put it on the Ohio Palette. Went up in about 10 minutes. That's
Well,
a record.
Well, I know, but you're different because I had to send you the flyer.
Yeah.
But in the general note that I sent out to 220 people who have either taken my class or shown interest in taking my class, I have a list of these people. And I thought, well, so I forgot to attach the flyer. Let me see what happens. Let me see how many people write me back and say, hey, Bill, you didn't attach the flyer, because then I'll know whether they're really reading the announcement or not. Because if they read that initial thing that I sent them, they would go, okay, well, let me see the flyer so I can send it to somebody or I can sign up or whatever. I thought, well, that'd be interesting. Let's see how many people tell me that I forgot to attach the flyer. How many people told me that I forgot to attach the flyer? You got it.
Well, I got them both at the same time, so it didn't occur to me.
So all I'm saying is that I feel that this great run that I've had teaching all of you and doing all this stuff is sort of coming to a close. And so I'm starting to, I'm going to create a new class for writers that I'm working on right now. But if you guys know anybody that want to come in on Sunday night, or you guys want to come back in on Sunday night, just let me know. I'm going to try to run the session, but I'm going to have to wait and see this week how many people I get. And I'll send out another set of notices this week with the attached flyer and see if that makes any difference.
Yeah, Bill, could you send me that flyer? Because I was working on a flyer to send to the students. I was going to send it out 2 days ago, but then it's a long story. But
yeah, I'll send you a copy of it.
Because we were putting together a flyer, but maybe if you just send me that.
Yeah.
You don't put a bio on that flyer, do you?
No, but it has my website address.
Right. No, because Barbara and I were talking, because it's a university thing. She said we have to, and I know we've run into this before, we can't solicit, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what we have to do is just take a flyer and say to the students, this came to us, if this is an opportunity, if you're interested. That's all we can say, and attach the flyer.
Great.
But Barbara was I basically got the flyer done that we were doing. Vasily and I were doing it together. But Barbara was saying there should be a little bio on there. So I was going to ask you, I don't know if you wanted to. I have the bio when you work.
No. Wait till you see the flyer. It's really cool. And instead it has my website at the bottom, which is that's where you can get that information. It has the website where you can read the book if you want that, and it also has 3 testimonies from Bill Mastro Simone, from Austin Pendleton, and from John Sanudo.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of credibility in the piece. I'll send it to you.
Send it to me, and then I could just probably send it right out.
That's great.
To all the students.
And if you guys know anybody, let me know. But so far, just let me know, and we'll figure it out. And I'll see you guys in the fall for sure. I hope we all get together. Of course, sadly, except Cindy, here in the studio here, because I will just have come from a studio session with Cindy for 6 weeks, so she can't really bitch about it.
So when is your fall?
It's going to start the first week in October. I get back
I thought that was going to be on Zoom.
Okay, because I don't know that.
Well, we don't
as
know.
you like it, I don't know if they're going to have Sunday performances. I don't know.
Is it in October?
It's in October.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Well, we'll figure it out. That's it.
Yeah, but you have to do privates, right? If you don't do.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Don't go away,
Yeah. Well,
please.
I'm going to be here as long as there's an interest in doing it, but it seems to be waning. It seems to be that a lot of the people that I've worked with for a long time are off in other directions, which is great. I'm happy for them, but I just want to start to develop some new people, and we'll see what happens. I need your help. So,
But you guys don't know that this is the last set of classes until October. So you get
last set of classes on Zoom.
back.
Yeah. That's what the notice says. So.
These sessions, these new sessions, and the ones that it makes it clear they're all on Zoom, right?
Yes.
Right, and so it makes it clear on the flyer that they're on.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Absolutely. All right.
Two things, Bill. I want to see how things fly with I may be getting offers to do my children's book.
Oh, great.
I've got a lot of networking I did this weekend. A lot of people want to get in touch with me.
Sure.
I made a lot of great contacts. The other thing is, I know there's someone, I'm forgetting who it is, who I believe said that they're looking for a teacher to do a one-man show.
Oh, great.
One-man show, but I can't think of who it is.
Great.
So when it comes to me, I'll let you know.
All right. Absolutely. I'm not going anywhere. Thank you, guys. I love you.
You,
Love
thank you so
you.
much.
Good work.
Bye.
Bye.